win so much, you may even get tired of winning. And you'll say, please, please, it's too much winning. We can't take it anymore. Mr. President, it's too much. And I'll say, no, it isn't. We have to keep winning. We have to win more. We're going to win more.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Astrolabe, a Sunday evening Astrolabe. I went and put Mr. Sue in a blender because he wanted to take bets on whether the lab would begin before or after 8 p.m. And I started the pre-show before 8 p.m., but I started the actual show after 8 p.m. I started the intro after 8 p.m., so I will leave it to him. He didn't nail down what the definition was, so I intentionally tied him in a knot here. He's going to have to figure out what he's going to, how he's going to straighten those numbers out. Yeah, I didn't do a show on Friday, so I told you guys I would do one today, and it's one I've been kind of putting together for a little while, but I've been trying to figure out what to say about it. It's very interesting, this ChudTheBuilder case, and I'll get into it here in just a minute, but yeah, I'll set it up here in a minute. Let me get through some housekeeping, a couple things in the chat I want to touch on, and thank you to Howie for resubscribing on Kick. Thank you to Bork for gifting a sub to Caradwin, two longtime Patriots. And we got one of these bad boys, Nematoder.
Midday EDM hype already earned you some ching.
Thank you, sir. See, it's midday. See? Nematoder, he confirmed. It's midday. I'm starting midday. I told you guys I was going to start sometime in the afternoon, evening, something like that. Jeff!
Hi.
Howdy to you. Greetings, sir. Thank you for that. You guys might also notice that there was $50 at the start. That was from Nancy over on Buy Me a Coffee. Thank you to Nancy for the $50. The 10 beers, 10 coffees. I don't remember. I think I have it set up for beers. So it's Buy Me a Beer. Buy me a beer at buymeacoffee.com/kingpilled. She sent in the 10 beers. So thank you to Patriot Nancy, and appreciate you. Yeah, supposedly Chud was denied baptism and caused a lot of problems for the local Orthodox parish. Yeah, we're going to get into all of that. Because he's a much more he's a complicated character. He's a very complicated story, and I've held two strong opinions on him, and I'm working my way through a third now, just in the last couple of weeks. So I've got a whole bunch of stuff with that, and it's stuff that I don't know. I haven't seen a lot of people talking about. Everyone kind of just seems to squarely fall on one side or the other. And there's some stories, there's some components to this whole story that I haven't seen people talk about in a certain manner. So you guys might notice I've got my fiddle tool over here. I am a millennial, What would I be if I didn't have my fiddle tool at my disposal while I'm sitting here talking? I actually, I've found sometimes I can sort of NLP myself with this. By if I have like a certain thing that I want to talk about that I've forgotten, or that I don't want to forget, but I have to do something else, then I can like attach the thought sort of to one part of it, and then I can reaccess it that way. So I've been able to. I can't do it 100% of the time, but I've been able to do it a few times. I kind of remind myself of the frame of mind that I was in when I was thinking about that, and it'll bring the thought back. I just learned from Ben Shapiro on 2X that. There is a band, or a group, a musical group, called Psychosonic, a 90s techno band, one of whom's members went on to become Vox Day. That was my mind-blown moment of the day. 100% did not know any of this aspect about Vox Day. Apparently he just made some new music. It's called Vax Tracks. And with two X's on both words. The AI mod on Kick didn't like that. That'll be one thing that's kind of interesting. This is going to be a little bit of a test of some of the boundaries and limitations on Kick, because I'm going to play a whole bunch of clips of Chud, because there's a bunch of different components about him that I want to talk about, and they're all best illustrated with the clips. So I don't know if we'll necessarily watch all of them, but there's a bunch of clips that kind of build out his character. And he spent about a week on Kick and then got kicked off. So I'm kind of curious to see if playing tracks from him will result in some kind of a whammo from Kick. We're gonna test the limits here and see what happens. But back to Vox Day. He asked if Ben Shapiro on 2X. Ben Shapiro on 2X asked what I think of Vox Day, and I found him to be very interesting sometimes. I actually used to listen to him more frequently back in, I don't know, 2018, somewhere in that time frame, maybe 2018, 2019, and thank you, Pale Morning Dude. I found him interesting. I think he has some interesting thoughts, some interesting insights. I appreciate some of the perspective that he brings to bear, but he's always struck me as kind of like he's just a nerd. He's like a resentful old nerd, sort of. So like he has some good insights, but he's always had I don't know. He's had a dark energy about him that I kind of sense, and I'm just sort of like, eh. There's some of these people that I don't know how to describe it other than that. I don't know how to make it not sound like I'm just like a crystal chick or something, but there's just some people that just have an energy that sometimes that energy is bright, sometimes that energy is dark, sometimes that energy is kind of mixed. It has like different aesthetics to it, and I don't know how to talk about it in any other sense than that. But it's kind of like it's sort of like like the way you would experience something that's a light. And the light might be muffled, it might be yellow, it might be white, it might be brighter, it might be less, it might be pointed kind of away from you. You know, these are all going to kind of affect you in a different way, but you could like see the light. There's a sense of that when you, at least for me, when I encounter someone that just sometimes I just get, it's like there's just this dark light, this dark kind of foreboding energy around them that just makes it hard to trust them. And I'm kind of like, I don't want to get that on me. So that's kind of been my take on Vox Day. Every once in a while, I'll see or hear something from him. I'm like, oh, that's kind of interesting. Skrudamanevsky says, I still believe that Vox Day and Devin Stack of Blackpilled are the same guy. There's a very good example. Yes. Yeah. Exactly what I'm talking about. Another of the exact same character, where it's like a lot of the stuff he says and a lot of stuff he talks about, like Devin Stack has some fantastic movie reviews that are really, really interesting, really compelling. But, you know, I'll listen to that, but then I try to listen to regular stuff, and I'm just like, eesh. Even where I don't necessarily agree or disagree with the things that you're saying, I like your spirit better. Michael Knowles is a really good example of someone from Daily Wire. Michael Knowles has a just glowing, bright energy. He is like a fucking golden retriever. He's fantastic. It's wonderful. So even when he does his sort of like millennial con thing, which is kind of a derivation of boomer con, like even when he's doing that, I'm just like, oh, silly Michael Knowles. You know, we love Michael Knowles, don't we? Yeah. Anyways, breaking news: Owen Benjamin and Top Lobster gay heretics. I'm with Straight Buster. Shocking. Yes, Lord Breezy, we are wholesome normie maxing. So let's see here. Was there something else I wanted to say at the top? You mentioned Vox Day in the chat, and then you guys get me all distracted reading the chat, and I lose track of what I was saying. I didn't NLP myself hard enough. Okay, so Kingless Kingdom says, I don't like his character very much, speaking of Chud. At least it is amusing, but this case is very clear-cut. He is in the right. Yes. Yeah, in a sense, yes. We'll get into all of that. I have some stuff set up for like the back end of the show after we kind of go through the go on a little journey through the arc of this character that is Dalton Etherly. I assume it's Etherly, also known as ChudTheBuilder. And then we'll talk about the actual case, some of the merits of the case a little bit here on the back end of the show. I've got a clip from Andrew Branca, who's been doing really good stuff on this. I mean, this is like squarely in his area of expertise, self-defense law. So if you guys aren't following Andrew Branca, he's our I don't know how to describe him. Totally sort of like normie-con Gen X lawyer who suddenly became an unashamed white nationalist overnight. And he's just like white nationalist, but normie kind of. Fantastic follow. Really, I don't know if he would necessarily describe himself as white nationalist. So I suppose if he wouldn't like that, I don't want to go casting aspersions on a lawyer. But it's just he's just like, yeah, white people are different than black people or brown people. Or whatever derivation of brown people, and white people are safer and healthier and more prosperous when they live predominantly around other white people, and we get the best possible outcomes when even the non-white people, the people whose skin is non-white, adopt the habits and the customs of white people while they're living with white people. This is kind of just sort of a pretty obvious, like biological observation, and so Andrew has had some really good. He actually had a really interesting conversation with Myron Gaines on this kind of, and I've never been like a huge fan of Myron Gaines, so he actually kind of impressed me with some of the ways he was asking questions and stuff. Every once in a while you'll get one of these things where a guy will sort of drop his character, and you see the actual guy. There's like the character that he plays, and when he's in character, but then when he drops the act, often I've found that a lot of these people who they present in public as kind of dorky or boorish or really bombastic or crude or vulgar, they're often that's like an act, that's a character that they're putting on, and there's typically a much more kind of erudite, thoughtful person behind them, because often it kind of takes the erudite, thoughtful person to be able to engineer the social dynamics necessary to carve out a particular niche and maximize it successfully. Not just anybody can do that. Nationalist centrism, moderate centrist white nationalism. That's me, literally me. Andrew Bank also calls libs progressive fascists. So you can see, and he's like on the warpath, calling white people who are advocating for they're advocating for like DEI and stuff. He calls them the true racists. So we love it when our BoomerCon Gen Xers or BoomerCon millennials, when they kind of chud out in their own way. You got to give them the latitude to do it. They'll come along eventually. But anyway, so we'll talk a little bit about that here at the back end, and then I've got some takes on the broader issue, more not just Chud specifically, but sort of like a broader issue here. So we'll probably talk about some of those things as we go throughout it here. But perhaps one of the most famous clips of him that we're going to start off with. This is probably the one that everyone has seen going around, that really formed their impression of who ChudTheBuilder is as he began breaking out into the broader awareness of the internet ecosystem.
Chip it out.
Racist ass bitch.
Yeah, keep walking up on me, nigger.
Fucking racist.
You want to get made?
What are you gonna do?
I'll fucking shoot you and blow your head off. I got a 22 right on me, bitch.
Fucking
nigger.
Fucking cracker.
Look at you, Matt.
Fucking racist ass.
Chipping out.
Get the fuck out of Nashville.
Look at him, y'all.
Get the fuck out of Nashville with that bullshit.
Chipping out.
Fucking racist.
Chipping
bitch.
out.
Fucking cracker.
They can't help it.
Cracker. He's a racist.
That don't mean nothing to me.
Racist.
I don't care.
Man, you're lucky, bro. You're lucky I got my niggas with me, bro. I'll really blow your shit off right now.
What, your monkey goons with you?
Man, you're lucky I really got
You want to get your monkeys on me?
Nah, nigga.
You're going to get your monkeys on me?
Nigga, you think this shit funny, nigga?
Ooga booga.
Yeah, nigga.
Look how mad he is.
Bitch ass nigga. Ass bitch.
Shit skimp.
Piece of ass
Shut up,
bitch.
nigger. Hey, are these your nigger friends too?
You look at him, bro. He's stripping out, bro. You're actually a fucking cracker. Fucking racist ass
Yep.
bitch.
I got a gate. They're following me. You're harassing me. You're harassing me. If you want to get... Oh, step on me. I'll shoot you right now and blow your head off, nigger. I'll blow your head off, nigger. Chip it out.
Oh, okay. So if you haven't actually seen any of the Chud clips, that could very well have been like memorized lines from one of them. I don't know if it actually is. I wouldn't be surprised if it was literally word for word from it. So here's one of the interesting. I've been trying to figure out like which different line of analysis or which different storyline or which sort of compelling narrative that's coming out of this takes precedent, and it's kind of like they all do. So I'm having a hard time figuring out how to weave them together. We like to weave here at the Astrolabe. One of these things is absolutely as a consequence of what ChudTheBuilder has been doing. The power, the social power and status and sacredness of the word nigger is being very rapidly diluted. These are things that just kind of like you knew it was going to happen eventually. These are the sorts of things that eventually happen. You could just lay out all the facts of the case, and it's like, yeah, this thing's not long for the world. It's just a matter of time before something happens. And I mean, ostensibly, this is basically the mission that Chud had set himself upon was accomplishing this very goal. And this is one of the. You'll have to forgive me if my thoughts seem kind of out of order here, because, like I said, I'm trying to figure out how to piece all of these together. So, like, listen to the whole thing. There's going to be a lot of things that all kind of depend on each other. So listen to the whole thing. But there's a part of me that is like, well, this is precisely the situation he was trying to engineer. He very clearly was planning for and trying to engineer a situation precisely like this. So the fact that it's happening, the fact that he's in the situation that he's in, the fact that it's so unjust against him, like ostensibly, is this is working according to plan. This is exactly where he ought to be. This is exactly where he wanted to be. He put himself here. So then that calls into question, how much of an injustice is it actually? And you may not find that compelling necessarily, but I can tell you a substantial portion of the population will find that compelling. And I got to say that part of my initial impulse when I started watching him, I've been following him for a couple of weeks now, and I actually was saving some clips and putting them aside, had a window that I was pushing them off into, things that were sort of provoking thoughts for me, but I was preparing my thoughts on it and trying to get it prepared to talk about. Then he got arrested on this thing that happened with a restaurant and a thing, like they kicked him out, and then they were trying to accuse him of not paying his bill and all this sort of stuff. So he got arrested because of that. And I've seen some people have said there's been so much stuff that's just plain not true that a lot of people have just simply accepted as factually true. So like one of these things is that he was going to the courthouse when the whole shooting incident happened. He was at the courthouse settling up his bond for that previous arrest. And he was out on bond from that. That was not the case. He was there settling a completely separate issue. He was there on a matter of something having to do with a credit card, and he was like suing a creditor or something along those lines. Something completely unrelated. And that I think is relevant because another part of the story that people have gone with is that this guy that he got into a scuffle with was stalking him, was going after him. There were screenshots from this guy on X who showed like the Apple Maps. Like, I'm an hour away. Should I go do it? Totally different guy. That guy is himself a streamer on Kick, and he'd been talking about him in the past. Totally different guy. Not related whatsoever. The guy's gone on and done streams. He's not shot and laying in the hospital. He's gone on and done streams and from his X account. So, but that story, like I believed that for a little bit when I saw it, because some of the magnitude of some of the accounts that were sharing it, I was like, okay, this seems to be basically validated. But no, it's not true at all. There is no evidence currently, that guy went there looking for him, stalking him, trying to go after him. That's not to say that that's not true. It's just that that narrative that came up was fake news. And this is relevant because it wasn't like there was some sort of publicly scheduled bond hearing or something like that he was there at the courthouse for. He was there for some private, separate issue. So anyway, so going back, this restaurant fiasco thing happens. He gets kicked out. They recognize who he is. Seems like it was kind of a setup, maybe, or they were at least prepared for him because he's quite a sensation on the streets of Nashville for the last several weeks. So he gets arrested because of that on stream. And when that happened, I was like, okay, this story's starting to accelerate. I need to be prepared to talk about this. And so I actually, the day of the shooting or the next day was one of the days I was going to start going through some of this. And so then I started forming my opinions based on what I'd known at the time, which was more than most people, because I'd been following the story for a while. But there was a number of just sort of like inconsistencies and problems with some of the narratives people were running with that I decided I needed to go back through and just watch a bunch of his stuff. So I'd seen probably a dozen of his clips, and I'd sat and watched some of the longer ones that I'm going to play for you guys here today. And so I felt like I'd drawn a pretty good conclusion about him from that. And We even in the King Pilled voice chat, we had a couple different conversations about this, and we talked at length about how it's kind of like my initial conclusion was basically, yeah, it seems like he probably has a good case for self-defense. But even before that, my opinion of him had been, I understand what he's trying to do, and I think that he's probably going to be successful at what he's trying to do, namely normalize white people being able to say the N-word, like white people not having sacred speech that they're not allowed to utter, as well as the problem of trying to create viral moments that elevate this problem of gangs of black people out on the street chimping out regularly. What sort of social problem that causes? Like, this is his stated goal, and I was like, I think he's probably going to be successful at that, but he's also going to end up taking a major personal hit himself. He has a family. He has his own spiritual condition to be concerned about, and I'm not sure that what he's doing is also reifying or re-justifying the whole Civil Rights Act narrative, namely that black people need special protections because white people will just go out on the streets and just start harassing and attacking them. And there's this virulent racism plague that's everywhere. And this guy is he's just unprovokedly harassing black people and being racist. And this is actually an extra justification for why we need the whole Civil Rights Act thing. And then once he brings himself up as a prominent person like that, then he can be, other people can be attached to him. That's a way of you start dragging down other people's reputation. So I was like, I think he's probably going to accomplish what he wants to, but at what cost? So this was my opinion at basically about the time that the shooting happened. And I said in the King Pill Discord, almost word for word, I said, I think that he probably is not guilty of what he's being charged for, but I also, in principle, would be fine with him being arrested just for acting like a nigger in public. Because I don't like seeing white people go out and act like niggers in public. Running around like taunting people, trying to get in, explicitly trying to start gunfights. This was my impression of him. And this is from watching a pretty substantial amount of his stuff. And there's a couple of clips where he's going after white people. He goes after a couple of old boomer white guys. And I was like, okay, this is just like I have not watched my civilization collapse around me just to see ostensibly my own people going out and finding senior guys and badgering them. Old senior dudes that are just hanging out minding their own business and just agitating them and getting them all pissed off and calling them niggers and nigger lovers. Like, what is this accomplishing? I don't want to see the level of white people public behavior descend to the level of black people. I want to see the element of black people who are acting like that in public taken off the streets permanently, and I want everything to elevate. So this was my stance about the time that the shooting incident happened. But then I wanted to be able, there's so many people that I really trust and respect and everything who were really hopping on board with this, like, yeah, fuck the consequences, this needs to happen and it's time. And I'm like, maybe I might agree that it's time perhaps, but I also don't know that this strikes me as a politically stupid way to accomplish the goal, the stated goal. And so I wanted to go back and, before I went out on the record and started saying these things, I wanted to go back and get as much of a comprehensive picture of him as I could. I was looking for a couple specific clips that I'd seen before that I'd lost. And I wanted to, and then I started watching some others and started going down a little and finding out more about him and his story, which I don't know if it makes me feel better or worse, frankly. Oh shit, there was one tweet that I forgot. I remember what it says. I don't need to have it. So as I went back and started watching a lot more of him, I don't know. I see him in a different light than I did before. Even having seen a bunch of him already. And so there's separate different storylines, thread lines that I want to kind of track along with here. And sometimes we'll talk about one, sometimes we'll talk about the other. There's the matter of him personally, him the individual Chud the Builder and his own soul. Then there's the matter of him with respect to his family and his local community, which those are kind of the same thing. Then there's also the political utility of the tactics he's taking. There's the legal case for or against him. And then there's also another separate one, which is kind of the one that I'm taking away here, which is that I think what he's revealing, or what I'm picking up on from watching the interactions that he's having is just I think we're much closer to the end of this current the race war, or whatever you want to call it, the current state of race relationships. I think we're much closer to the end of that than the beginning. But I don't know quite how to illustrate all of this necessarily, unless I just sit here and show you guys a bunch of these clips. So I've tried to sort them out a little bit. It's part of the reason why it took me so long to get this put together. I tried to put them together a little bit sort of thematically, because a lot of them, they have many different tenors to his clips. So here's the first couple.
I'm
taking some mind. What y'all got going on? I see you got
I thought you knew me.
Man, you look for me. What's your
You seen me on the internet. You believe in free speech? Free speech for everybody. Yeah. So white people can say nigger.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
American. You're a true American right here. God bless you. We fuck with you. Look at me, Chud the Builder.
Chud the Builder?
Chud the Builder, yeah. Real American.
So this is, I started with this one because it's like the shortest, the quickest. This is like his shtick. This is his thing. If you didn't know who he was before, this is his thing. He walks down the street, live streaming himself, walking up and down the street in Nashville, going up to people on the street and hitting them with this. They'll ask him, "What do you do?" He says, "I'm a streamer, a free speech advocate." And they, "Oh yeah," and he says, "Do you support free speech?" And they say, and then they most of the time they're like, "Oh yeah," and he says, "Okay, so white people can say nigger, right?" And then it sparks a reaction. So in a whole separate line of this conversation here is the whole thing of like people on the street, like streamers going out and doing all this, and like I'm kind of mixed. Like on one hand, I think that you get a lot of really interesting. It's an interesting way to like take the temperature of people and get these sort of like social experiments. Those social experiments are also incredibly aggravating. And the majority of people who do it are retarded people, and I want them to be arrested simply for doing what they're doing. And that's kind of where he was, as kind of the category he was verging toward for me, based on some of the clips, the other clips that I've seen of him that I'll show you. But what was I saying? So you have, yeah. So this is like his basically. This is a more common interaction than I would have expected. Now, there's obviously plenty of the blacks who, and then once the blacks start chimping out at him, then he goes, "Oh, look, they're chimping out. And these are his lines that he hits over and over again because he's striking those specific chords intentionally. But here you got this guy, he's like, "I don't give a shit. White people can say nigger, I don't care." And so then he's like, "Hey, cool." He daps him up. Here's a longer one of him with a bunch of different people. He's become it's funny how many people even still aren't totally aware of him, because he's actually become quite a celebrity in Nashville, local celebrity, like for better or for worse. Basically, everybody knows who he is. There's lots of people who go out of their way to go try to find him and meet up with him.
Yeah.
For better or for worse.
This is beer can, right?
Yeah. Dude, what the hell?
That's how you open a beer.
That's a real man right there. Holy shit. God bless that.
Sure.
God bless you, brother. Hey, man, you have a good day. Hell yeah. Freedom of speech, baby. Damn, you running far,
Dude,
bro.
no, bro. You saved my city, bro. I'm like, dude, this nigga funny as fuck.
God bless you, dude.
You put up to the Brothers Market, all the niggas was chipping.
They was tripping out on me, and they had shit to do. God bless you. It's a lot of love. Oh, hey, get a video, get a picture. I'm still a normal dude. I don't know about this celebrity shit yet.
Hey, he cool.
God bless. Freedom of speech.
Freedom of speech.
Ah, that was perfect. Clip it. Yeah, dude, get a pic.
One of y'all take it.
Yes, ma'am. Come on in. Come on in. Yeah, black boyfriend. God bless you, girls. Yes, man. God bless America. Yeah, come here. We need more white immigrants. We love you guys. You know, we need more white immigrants. We don't, and y'all got too many brown people. What's up, nigga?
I had some people that were talking about you.
Who?
I didn't know who you were at the time. They were showing me clips of you.
Yeah.
The guys over
They on the phone? Oh,
the
yeah,
guys over
yeah.
at Exxon with the cars.
You saw that yesterday?
Yeah, they were showing me the clips.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Those guys are cool. Yeah, dude. That was like my first stream on Kick. And dude, we blew up Kick in a week. They banned us. Now we're blowing up Pump Phone. Yeah. We're on the fucking streaming on the blockchain now. They can't ban us from there. State troopers, God bless you. Thank you guys for being out here. God bless you. Y'all believe in freedom of speech? That's what we like to say. No, I'm not even gonna do it. I love you, bro. Thank you. No, as long as you say yes, we're good. But you see how we show love out here, no hate. They clip it and they try to do the fake news thing, make me look like somebody who hates people. Fuck that. God bless y'all. Thank you.
You know who clips it? He clips it.
What up, bro? Come here. We're showing love to everybody tonight.
No, I know. It's funny because I see a lot of your shit, and it's funny, but here's the thing. Sorry to keep spitting.
No, you're good.
Bro, obviously it's controversial and shit like that, but in America you have freedom of speech. The key is this. If somebody's talking shit, if somebody's being weird, if you don't like it, don't give a reaction. Don't put yourself in a position where
Don't chimp out.
your life or go to jail. Right, like you can say whatever the fuck you want.
The fuck is the problem? Yeah.
But don't let that shit bother you, bro. Rise above the fucking word.
Grown men,
Don't get triggered.
we're raising up the standard. God bless you.
Have a great night, bro.
You too, man.
Oh yeah, that black cop totally knew. He totally knew. Which, like, from watching all these, like, he's made definitely enough of an impression in Nashville that, like, that restaurant that kicked him out, they had him, like, his name written down. Like, they knew who he was. They were prepared for him. Whether they were prepared for him or whether they intentionally did it, I think there's probably a case to be made that they intentionally, like, set it up. But I guarantee you, all the local cops have become well aware of who he is.
Yeah. I'm Dalton. We're on Pump Fun now. You can buy some touch points. Later. Bless you. Thank you. You almost got it on him. How you been tonight, brother? Yeah. I wish I had some for you tonight. I don't got it. Showed you some love. I'll be back around here in a while. God bless you, brother. God bless you, brother. We're chipping out. These motherfuckers are chipping out. They're chipping out. Yeah, he's recording. You want to hold the phone or something? That's fucking bad. Well, I'm glad you guys are witnesses.
Yeah, picture.
The what?
They want us to kiss. Bring a picture, bro.
What up? Yo, what y'all doing? What's up, bro? You good, bro? Y'all bless y'all. You know me? You know me? Yeah. I'll fuck with you then. Hey, American. Appreciate working well. How you doing? Here, I'll go like this. How about that, bud? All right. I want to get big bro. I ain't the other one. No, and it's not because you're black. It's not because you're black. I'm more God.
Hey, big fan, bro.
Thank you,
I
brother.
watch you all
God
the
bless
time,
you.
bro.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Tell me we couldn't win an election.
Oh, yeah.
That's why they hate me. Who am I collabing with? Who do I need to get clout from? Yeah, that's what I thought. You're just the nigger guy. Keep coping.
It's Damn It Jeremy says, I just want to know if this whole used to be a fairy thing is true. I don't know if it used to be, if it's true or not. I know that the specific story about him, the picture that's been going around, is not. That's not true. And then there's this story of this OnlyFans chick who claims that he used to patronize him. And there's a video of it coming up and confronting him. That one, I don't know. It looks very much like the person's just angry and so just told this story as if it's true. There's no evidence for it. But that picture that goes around of him like dressed up like a fairy or whatever is literally ripped off of another account. I saw the original tweet on the other account where it was originally posted in like 2014. So that part is not true. Now, it's possible that he has that background. I don't know, but that story, that particular aspect of it, is not true. I'm going to keep going here because I've got several others that have all sorts of different interactions. Hold on just a sec here. What's going on? Why is this not working? Okay, here we go.
When you see a white girl with a black guy, entry should always be, hey, is this guy bothering you? This guy bothering you?
No.
This guy bothering you?
No. He's my best friend. What are you on Twitch?
Yeah. We're on Kick.
Hello.
What up, sweetheart?
What's
That's your best friend?
Yeah. What's your name?
I'm Dalton.
I'm
Yeah.
Courtney.
Courtney. You from here?
I am. Are you not from here?
No, I'm from here.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
What part of here are you?
Clarksville.
Where?
Clarksville, just down the road.
That is not Nashville.
I'm always here.
Clarksville is toxic. That's toxic.
Yeah, that's why I'm always up here. I don't like it either.
Okay, so this was the origin point for play the back end of this one.
When you see a white girl with a black guy, entry should always be, hey, is this guy bothering you? You see how offended that nigger was? Fuck out of here. This is my best friend. Yeah, I got you. You're cooked. As soon as she said that, you're cooked. You guys think I don't got Riz? Come on, dude. You think I don't got Riz, bro? I called her retarded and he got offended for her. I called her retarded. He said, bro, what? Shut up, nigger. Stand there and watch. Let me show you how to get out the friend zone.
So when I first saw his videos a couple weeks ago, it was 3 weeks ago maybe, I saw him sort of adjacently to like Clavicular, but he actually thinks Clavicular, like he doesn't like him. They don't have beef or anything. He's just like he's a fag. So that one there was the setup for this one here. This guy turns out he's actually like a locally famous streamer down there, this black guy, and he didn't know about it until later on.
Hey, is that black guy bothering you? Is that nigga bothering you? Oh no. He laughed about it. What a good sport. That actually made me laugh, bro. That guy laughed. And that's how you take it. That's how we want guys like that. That was a good nigger. That was a good nigger. Oh, we love that. That was a good one, bro. He laughed. He said, this nigga. There we go. There we go. All right. I'm done for the night, chat.
So there's a couple others here.
Take a business card, man.
What is it?
It's a driver. You need a driver. You look cool as fuck.
No shit.
You got the fucking cigar. You got the fucking camera.
You know who I am?
The microphone. I have no fucking idea.
I'm a
who you
free
are.
speech patriot. We're live streaming right now.
Hey, dude.
Y'all believe in free speech?
I believe in you can say whatever the fuck you want to say.
Even white guys saying nigger.
You can say whatever the fuck
I love it, dude. Fuck yeah. Hey, we might actually get together then because that's what my content's about. I'm pretty viral. Look me up, ChudTheBuilder.
Shut the fucking building. Let's find out.
You heard of me?
I've never fucking heard of you.
Awesome, bro. Well, look me up.
Hey, we have a podcast studio in our office.
No shit.
Yeah, no shit.
Rented out for like $33 an hour.
You got like a Instagram or something? What is it?
Instagram, they banned me. Facebook, they banned
I
me.
believe that.
Twitter, that's where I'm at.
That's where you're
ChudTheBuilder.
popping.
We just took over Kick, the streaming app, in a week. The last week, and then they banned me the other day.
What's your thing again? CHU what?
ChudTheBuilder.
ChudTheBuilder.
Yeah, bro. We got a base one. Hell yeah. Y'all look me up.
Hey, if you told me before I saw this that he could walk up on the street to a black dude there and say, and say I'm a free speech guy, so even white people can say nigger, and the guy'd be like, hey, I don't give a shit. Yeah, you want to work with me? Like, can I produce your stuff for you? I probably wouldn't have believed that interaction was possible.
I see you, man.
Yeah, Twitter me, like, whatever. I got your shit.
I see you, bro.
I'll look you up because we're moving up. We're trying to get the stream next level, so.
I tell you, bro, as far as transportation goes, we'll take care of everything, sedan, suburban.
Y'all not gonna fucking backdoor me and have the homies pull up?
Bro, as long as you're paying, bro, I don't give a
Fuck yeah, bro. Hey, y'all be safe, man. Thank you for reaching out. Base nig.
Yeah, Cheeky says early bird gets the worm. He cheat coded hard to some virality. Yeah, I don't think that there's anything that's suspicious to me about him appearing all of a sudden. Like, I don't think that this was somebody boosting him or anything like that. Because I saw him, and he hasn't been around very long. And I kind of stumbled upon him sort of organically, and I've been watching him, and I mentioned him to a few other people. And then, the shooting happened. And, like, getting viral clips like this, you don't need someone boosting you to have a clip of a guy who looks like this walking up to black people on the street and saying, hey, are you okay with white people saying nigger? Like, you don't need anyone boosting you to make those things go viral. Now, there's another aspect to him. That's not the only thing that he does when he's just walking around.
Come here. Let's read you a prayer. Can we read you a prayer? We bless thee, O most high God and Lord of mercy. First thing we do, we make the sign of the cross. Cool, ready? We bless thee, O most high God and Lord of mercy, whoever doest with us things both great and inscrutable, both glorious and awesome, of which there is no measure. See, that's the devil.
I'm not
Of which there is no measure, who grantest to us sleep for rest from our infirmities, and relaxation from the labors of our much toiling flesh. We thank thee that thou hast not destroyed us with our iniquities, but hast shown us thy loving kindness to man as usual. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. God bless you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You need anything else? Come here.
No, he did not do the sign of the cross the Papist way. He did it the Orthodox way. The video is just mirror image. You can see on the writing up here. So he apparently was actually an Orthodox catechumen, and I don't know any of the details about the story. I've seen enough people. This is one of those that I've seen enough people who have said like basically the same variation of it. That I think that it's at least directionally true. And I've got a clip of him sort of talking adjacently to it. There was some kind of thing that went on with him and his church, and he got kicked out, and he has a wife and a young child that he's separated from. This is one of the threads in this storyline that is it's very difficult for me after watching all of these things and knowing his whole story. Like, I've had really strong opinions or like really strong gut reactions to stuff. Like, I see this sort of thing and I have a really strong gut reaction of like, it's really positive to have somebody that's demonstrating this sort of thing. Demonstrating this breadth of character as well. This is there are a lot of positive things about it. But this is what I mean about his own personal life, his own relationship with his child and with his wife and with his church. It all happened before he started doing this, the man on the street stuff. So it wasn't that he was doing the man on the street stuff and then he got kicked out. It was the order was the other way around. Like, he absolutely shouldn't be doing this. He is not the person to do this with the situation in life that he has. I think just full stop. But he has more. He actually is pretty open about his about orthodoxy on his streams.
We got to do what we can from outside the church. We pray for the church from outside.
I do not vouch for this theology whatsoever. I
feel like Saint Mary
portraying it.
Not the Theotokos, not the Virgin Mary, but Saint Mary of Egypt. She tried to go to the church and she literally was met with a force field. Oh, maybe I'm too sinful to go to church. Maybe that is the truth. But still I long and I pray and I love each and every one of you guys, even the hating ass niggers. You know, that's just why I can mog them. I know a lot of you guys hate me for this. How could you have love for these animals? It's like the same way you fucking love an animal. It's like, if I imagine a bear were to come up here and try to fucking kill me right now, I'd blow its brains out. Alright, I would shoot its guts out. I would go and get that fucking bear spray. I'd defend myself against this fucking bear, but I would still, dude, I still love the fucking bear. Like, what a glorious experience that would be, even if the bear killed me.
Melon says, too sinful to go to church is a frequent take from recovering atheists. Been there. Yeah. You know, and I think it's a common take. I think there's a lot of people who feel that. A lot of people encounter and confront that in their own way. I mean, I can't say that I recommend his route, but you know, I also, I don't know. I see it's a very tragic story. It's a very tragic story. In like the literal sense. And I can see why this is driving him to, like, one of my first impressions of him was that he seems to have kind of a martyr complex, which is which is often like an inverse or like an inverted messiah complex. And it can be like a narcissism thing. But he strikes me as someone who's very, very lonely.
Welcome to the Gulag. If you survive, you earn your freedom.
Thank you, Dave. Dave Johnson, the gayest man, is here with 5 gifted subs. I recognize Donkey Bite, I recognize Borp, and I recognize Zoomer Dylan. Hopefully Theo Nut and who's the other one here? Adriana. Hopefully you guys are not offended by me not recognizing you. Dave is awake. Yes, the gayest man. Let's take a gay man break.
You know, Dave Johnson is the gayest person to ever walk this green earth.
Here is the biggest, gayest man in the world.
Wow. So gay. So gay.
A gay man break. I love it when we get to take a gay man break. Thank you, Dave Johnson. Yeah, he seems like he's lonely, and but like, yeah, I think the stuff that he's done is stupid. I think that he's gonna definitely have to answer for it, and that's on him. That's on him, his own soul. I really feel for his wife and his child. And yet, yeah, I talked about like the people who have like a vibe that's dark and a vibe that's not. I don't get a dark vibe off of him. After watching all these different videos of him and everything, I don't get a dark vibe off of him. I get the sense of a guy who's got a good heart, and I think he genuinely believes in what he's doing. I think he's motivated by ego and virality and wealth and all these sorts of things. But I also get the sense that he genuinely believes in what he's doing. This is him delineating basically his message.
The grassroots movement, I mean, that's where it began, so I think that's where we really need to focus on having a lot of these conversations. Like, hey, you believe in free speech, right? A lot of these people know me, and they think of me as something that I'm not. And so going up and having conversations with them is one of the best ways for me to market myself as somebody who is simply here for the principle of the matter, which is freedom. And that nobody watching this, nobody in the world who's not watching this should have to go through what I'm going through. And everybody who's holding a coin, everybody who's believing in the movement, who's funding this movement, who's taking their hard-earned dollars and put it into this, sent it whether to me on a donation, whether to me on here on Pump Fun, it doesn't matter. Every one of you guys are literally making American history in real time. It's honestly... it's fucking surreal to be the person who's front running as a face. I'm face fagging the movement, but goddamn, dude, what a blessing. Everybody's like, man, I don't know how you do it, the stress, the this, and that. Dude, glory to God for the stress, for the suffering. I'm glad it's me. I'm glad it's me, because Lord knows I was made for this shit, dude. Everybody said, man, why are you always, your one skill is being able to really stir the pot. Put it to work. Let's put it to work. Wow, you're such a
That's a clip that really, he does that laugh. That laugh's very fake. That's a clip that very much, to me, sounds like I'm going to throw myself, like I'm going to sacrifice myself. I'm too sinful for the church, and I'm going to sacrifice myself. I'm going to rationalize it to me as I'm using my best skill set. I'm putting it to work. I'm the one who's going to take the slings and arrows. I'm willing to be the one who sacrifices myself to advance this cause, and come what may. And there's something that's very Faustian about that. There's something that's very inspiring about that. And I can't judge his sincerity on it. You know, only God knows his heart. But I'll just say that I don't recommend this approach for the young chuds. Here, and this is one of the funny things about this is that for the people who do that, there's so many mythic tales about the men who have done that. In their time, virtually every single one of them is seen as foolish and immoral and, you know, whatever. Go down the whole long list of things. Trump is this kind of character in a certain sense, in more of a broader sense. In their time, they're generally known that way. And they're held to account. They have to repent of their sins all the same, but we also don't know how God can work things out. So, you know, when my assessment of him is like, I feel like this is actually kind of counterproductive, but at the same time, it is in an accelerationist sense, it's moving the ball forward, just, you know, like at what cost? There's a sense in which he's the one who's willing to bear he's willing to bear the cost of that acceleration in himself personally. He's willing to own that sacrifice himself to become the lightning rod that kind of pulls in the bolts of lightning so they don't hit everyone else. And I think these sorts of characters are often really hard to judge in their own time. But there's a reason why we write great mythic tales about them. And he said, this is the one tweet that I forgot to grab, but he tweeted someone asked him something along the lines of, what would you think of the saints, or what would the saints think of what you're doing? And his response was something to the effect of just basically a sentence. I think the Fools for Christ would understand where I'm coming from, or something like that. I think the Fools for Christ would get me. That's something that I'm not going to touch that. That's between him and God. The Fools for Christ is a very interesting tradition, but I think it's kind of by its own nature, I feel obligated that you just don't look at it. Like, that's between the person and God. That's up to them to settle and resolve, and that's an ongoing story that's above my spiritual pay grade. But the tradition of the Fools for Christ it was actually a specific legal category in Tsarist Russia, which is a bunch of these people who are actually they were extremely pious people, but they struggled very much with pride and ego. And so they basically degraded themselves so that they would not be looked up to, that their ego wouldn't be fed. So they would run around in public naked. They would steal things. They would do act like they were insane, flop around, bark like animals, whatever. There was lots of weird, very antisocial behaviors that they would engage in to draw scorn and shame upon themselves. So, you know, part of the reason why I think it's not worth spending, not worth really looking at, is because it's really easy for someone, I think, to take that and be like, oh yeah, I'm not retarded. I'm just a fool for Christ. And yeah, no, don't do that. Don't just say, oh, I know, actually, actually, I like break all the social mores and I commit crimes and stuff because I'm just a fool for Christ. You know, so, but, and it actually is, historically, I think it's been a category that is determined largely by the church, but at the same time, often fools for Christ have been excommunicated. Recognized sainted fools for Christ now have been excommunicated, have been completely at odds with the church in their own time. So again, it's like, as my mind starts wandering down these categories, I'm like, I don't really need an answer on some of these things. I can observe it. I can try to derive wisdom or lessons for myself from them. I can hopefully share them with other people, but I also, you know, I don't need to decide this guy is a good guy and he's doing good things, and so I'm on his side, versus he's a bad guy doing bad things, so I'm not on his side. You know, and that's kind of where I've been left with him so far. Is I'm kind of neutral on him, but then I have lots of thoughts about like his case and what this means for law, for free speech, for self-defense, for race relations, and all of those sorts of things. Here's another couple clips along these lines here.
All right, does he want one? Hey, you want one? You hungry?
Take one for later.
God bless you. Y'all have a good night. You good? I got you. I knew your hungry ass was gonna want one. But hey, we can say what we want.
I'm gonna give them get one.
God bless. Say it. Say it. We can say what. This nigga.
Thank you, nigga.
Thank you, nigga. Say it again for the mic. Hold on. Say it.
Thank you, nigger.
Nigger. I love this guy, dude. I love this guy. Oh, that's funny. Hey, you gotta let them all say it too. Let all these white people say it. He said you can say nigger. He said it. He said you can say it. I told him he ain't getting no burgers unless white people can say it. Yo, here you go, brother. Oh, this stupid monkey's chimping out. God damn it. No, we shouldn't have got him going. His nigger's chimping out.
So this is another thing that he does, is he just walks around and hands out food, hands out burgers, goes up and just talks to the bums, daps up the homeless guys. You know, and I'm like, is he just doing this for the camera? I don't know. He's doing it. I don't know a lot of other people that are doing it. You know, so I don't know, mark one in the Chud column.
We're breaking 200K. Hell yeah. That's based. That's based. What's up, dude? I like the look. What's your name? What do you mean? You don't like the cameras? Which girls? It's on me, bro. It's on me. What are you tripping? Look, it's on me.
Okay, they see me. Put me on YouTube.
We're live streaming, bro. What's your name, bro? You're gonna be famous.
I don't want to be bothered. I'm trying to get high, man.
Oh, well, don't go get high, dude. Come on, we get high on life together. You need some food or something?
No, I don't. I need some weed.
You need some weed?
Yeah, I need some
There's weed everywhere around here. You go buy it at the gas station. All right, bro, come on. Don't chimp out. You seem like a cool guy. All right, whatever. I thought he was going to give us an interview. I'd have bought him some weed from the gas.
I would have bought him some weed. Now, it's not just the blacks that he tangles with. He also tangles with the foids, and in this case, the Eurofoids.
Fuck the royal family, bitch! Fuck the royal family! Fuck the royal family! The only royal family is Joseph, Mary, and Jesus, bitch! Come on! Come on, do something! I'll spray your ass so quick! Come over here! Come over here! Back the fuck up, bitch! Respect American values!
Let me guess, you're a Trump
That's what I thought. No, what's your name?
My name's Gemma.
Gemma?
Yeah. Gemma.
Shake my hand. This is how we greet people.
Oh man, did I miss the clip? I pulled one out. I had multiple versions of the same one, and so I closed some of them out. And in this one here, I missed it. So I couldn't wait to play this one and see your guys' reactions. Where he starts out, fuck the royal family, and then the chick comes up to him and goes, actually, hold on. Let me play it because it might have just played the. Sometimes the way they do these clips is they play the most heated moment at the beginning and then it plays the full clip. This might be what that is. So I'm going to hold off for a sec.
Come over here. Come over here. Back the fuck up, bitch. Respect American value.
Let me guess, you're a Trump.
That's what I thought. No, what's your name?
My name's Gemma.
Gemma?
Yeah. Gemma.
Shake my hand. This is how we greet people in America.
Nice
Where are you girls from?
Hi, the UK.
The UK, I could tell. I knew it was something like that. Yeah, see, we're American. We shake hands. What's your name?
Oh, you're American. I didn't know.
You didn't know?
Mustache and hat didn't give it away.
You girls believe in freedom of speech, right?
No, I don't.
So white guys can say nigger.
No, just walk away now. Walk away now.
There we go. Thank you.
Goodbye. Have a nice night. Come on. So I was trying to tell you.
Look at that one. Tell me you're divorced without telling me you're divorced.
Why is that?
She's divorced, right?
Why is that?
I like how she's hanging out. You're pretty. You're the only one that's actually pretty here. What's your name? What'd you say your name was?
No, leave her alone. Walk away. Boring.
Nigger.
Oh.
Hey, don't
She's
touch
not
that stupid
interested.
bitch.
You healed my stomach. You gotta be careful because.
Hola, mi amigo. No mames. La verga.
Keep on with
Me and more.
The brownies like him too.
You're just here to rage bait people.
Oh no, we're here to bring freedom of speech back.
Oh, okay.
Listen, you're in America. Don't come to my country talking shit to me, bitch. This is America. You heard me? You heard me, bitch? Freedom of speech.
Oh, come on now.
You're in America.
No,
Respect our land.
No, you need to
Respect our land.
Like
Respect our land. I don't give a fuck where she lives.
Hey, tell me where you're
Live on
Tell me where we're
camera.
at. Tell me where we're at. What? America?
Stupid bitch.
Tell me where we're at. It's America.
We're in America, goddamn right. Let that UK bitch know. Hey, fuck the royal family, bitch. Fuck the royal family.
Here it comes.
Fuck the royal family. The only royal family is Joseph, Mary, and Jesus, bitch. Come on. Come on, do something. I'll spray your ass so quick.
I like how the one here in the jean jacket is cracking up at him. They're, like half of them are actually enjoying it, and then the one chick is just fucking livid.
Fuck the royal family. The only royal family is Joseph, Mary, and Jesus, bitch. Come
Viva Cristo says I had a very warped view of his content based on the few clips that went viral. I love this guy now. Oh, just give it about, I don't know, 5 or 10 seconds.
Come on, do something. I'll spray your ass so quick. Come over here. Come over here. Back the fuck
This
up,
guy's
bitch.
dying. He's loving
Respect
it.
American value.
Let me guess, you're a Trump.
That's what I thought. No, fuck Trump.
Oh, okay.
He's a Jew. Trump's a Jew. Respect America, bitch. You know I got a face full of bear mace. I love you, babe. She wants it.
Like he says, "Fuck Trump. Trump's a Jew," and I can't help but like I hear that and I'm like, "Oh man, he was disloyal to my president. Can't have that." But at the same time,
Royal
it's so
family,
fucking funny.
Bitch. Fuck the royal family. Fuck the royal family. The only royal family is Joseph, Mary, and Jesus, bitch. Come on. Come on, do something. I'll spray your ass so quick. Come over here. Come over here.
I love this guy over here.
Back the fuck up, bitch.
This guy right there in the gray.
Respect American value.
Let me guess, you're a Trump.
That's what I thought. No, fuck Trump.
Oh, okay.
He's a Jew. Trump's a Jew.
I'm gonna add that to the soundboard. I gotta add that to the soundboard. Fuck Trump. Trump's a Jew. The guy's got a gift for this, man. He's got a gift and he's got a set on him too. Oh man. Okay. Here's another interaction with a woman. You guys will enjoy this one.
Dude, the chat really doesn't want me. Holy shit. They're chimping out on you girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why they're chimping out. They don't even know.
Cheeky says, yeah, I don't think you even need a following. You can just get a buddy to film you and Hose will want to be on camera. 100%. And that's the thing is he knows that and he is absolutely gaming that. He's absolutely taking advantage of that and he pulls them in and then hits them with the opener. It's fantastic, fantastically curated viral content.
What were you saying? The chat really like what?
They don't want me to leave.
Oh yeah, I know.
They don't want me to leave. Keep cold approaching bitches, bro. Oh my gosh. Hey, you all right?
Hi, do you have a cigarette? Hi.
Here, get up off the ground. I got you.
Do you have a cigarette?
I don't smoke cigarettes, sweetheart. And you shouldn't either. It's not good for you.
Oh, wow.
And you shouldn't be on the ground
your
either.
Mother. Maybe sometimes we just have to do what we want to do to feel good.
Yuck. That's why she's old and divorced, ain't it?
Holy shit, I'm not divorced.
Guarantee it. No, just never married. Yeah, I wonder why. Get this bitch out of here.
Gross. Ew.
But it's not just the white women. It's not just the white women who want them a little bit of Chud the Builder.
All the Keishas and the Shaniquas love me. Hi, sweetheart. I tried telling them all the black girls love me.
How many people on here?
We got like... Well, I'm the white boy calling niggas niggas.
Oh,
you didn't hear about me?
You can't say that.
Y'all believe in freedom of speech?
I mean, I believe in freedom of speech. You know,
White monster spotted.
Yeah, so you're real. Yeah, see, y'all are Americans.
This is realistic. Like,
Y'all never heard of the guys saying, oh, look at these guys chimping out? They're chimping out.
yeah, I heard that.
That's me.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm trying to just like, we're out here classing up the black community. We're making people behave in civilization.
So what do you think he's walking around?
Well, I'm a live streamer now because
we're classing up the black community, making everyone behave like a civilization.
it's like, they like lie on me and they say, oh, this guy's going around antagonizing people and just like fucking being mean to black people. He's a racist. So now I get paid to just...
It's all a live stream that we started talking to him first. We got you.
But y'all are cool, yeah.
We're chilling.
Dude, these girls came up to me and they were like, they knew who I was. And they were little black girls. And I was like, what's up, shawties? And they were like, can we get a picture? And they started fucking hating on those girls though. So, but like honestly, a lot of the...
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's all right though. Y'all are cool. It was nice to meet you. Y'all have a good day.
Now this one here, this is a longer one, and I'm gonna play this whole one out because let me skip ahead because this does that thing where it shows just the beginning. Okay, watch the different ebbs. You won't be able to understand parts of this conversation for obvious reasons, but watch the ebbs and flows through it. The social dynamics at play in this one are really interesting.
Yo, this that guy
Yeah. Y'all chimping out. Y'all believe in freedom of speech?
What's going on, man?
Freedom of speech. Y'all know me. Hell yeah. White people can say nigger, right?
Whoa.
Come on. I thought y'all believe in freedom of speech.
Oh, no.
Y'all don't believe in freedom of speech?
This how you go viral. This how you go viral.
I thought y'all was American.
This how you go viral.
Y'all not American?
I'm definitely American.
They're chimping out. I don't drink.
He walk around, he be like, you chimping.
We've been giving out burgers.
He has pepper spray though, so if you run up on him,
we got more than that. We got a little more than that, but
he be harassing niggas, and then he just pepper sprays them. Like,
no, dude start chimping out.
He doesn't fight. He pepper sprays or he gonna shoot. Like, he don't even fight.
Said chimping out. That's crazy.
Cowboy.
You keep this shit from
Quick
your
draw,
mama's
right?
side. That's crazy as fuck.
I seen this video. I was like, bro, this nigga is crazy.
So like to this point here, they're pretty cool. Like he's like describing his whole thing. He's very familiar with him. He's all cool about it. We keep watching.
But freedom of speech. I thought we believe in freedom of speech.
But okay, but you know, freedom of speech, but not freedom of no consequence.
How old your grandmother?
How old?
How old is she?
That's a good question. Like 84?
Y'all gotta talk to this.
75, something like that. I don't know.
What side? Mother's side or father's side?
On my mom's side.
What about your father's side?
Probably similar age.
You finna dick down your granny.
Y'all nasty niggas, bro.
We
Y'all nasty niggas for that. But dick. Chimping out. Niggas chimping out. Look at these niggas chimping out. Look how these niggas chimping out.
What you got? Hey,
Y'all are gross. Is that how you feel good about yourself?
I do. I feel great.
Do you look, man, you never makes you feel good about yourself?
I just think we're all equal. So I should be able to say what I want. I should be able to say what I want.
Get people mad. We the fuck out of you.
Thank you, Emperor Atreides.
You can say what you want. I'm not mad.
You a bitch.
Your mom.
You a bitch.
You're a nigger.
You a bitch.
You're a sand nigger.
You a bitch.
He called him a sand nigger.
How about I don't?
You a bitch. You won't because you a bitch.
We're right here, faggot.
You said we what?
You're a nigger.
You a bitch.
That's what I thought. Have a good night, nigger.
Look at the pepper spray.
Look at, watch this. We got something else.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sick.
See, now those are the sorts of things. That one right there, this is the sort of shit that is not going to go well for him in court.
That's what I thought. Have a good night, nigger.
Look at the pepper spray.
Look at, watch this. We got something else.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sick.
Look at these niggas. Look at this nigga chimping out. It's Dom Luker, great value. It's the great value Dom Luker. Keep chimping out. Keep chimping out, nigger.
I got something else. I'll take the gun from you.
Do it. Try it right now. Try it right now.
You ain't never been
I'll
strong.
kill you with your own shit.
Try it right now.
No, because that's what he wants. That's what he wants.
Try it right now. Y'all gonna be national news. Try it right now. Saying nigger. Saying nigger.
You come outside trying to antagonize me.
I just said y'all believe in freedom of speech.
Yeah, I do. That's why I'm calling you a bitch. Freedom of speech.
Nobody's chimping out like you are.
Exactly.
Look at him. Ooga booga.
Where you work?
Ooga booga.
Oh my God.
Ooga booga.
Where do you work?
Where do I work? I'm getting paid $1,000 to do this right now.
Really?
Yeah.
No. Let me get this. Hold on. No.
Nigger.
He is getting paid. He is getting paid.
This the only civil one. This the only civil one back.
He calls out that guy. He's the only civil one. It's like, just the image of this big, mustachioed, cowboy hat wearing white dude standing on the sidewalk, going back and forth with a bunch of black guys. You're a nigger, you're a bitch, you're a nigger, you're a bitch, you're a nigger, you're a bitch. And then just standing there, and it's like, they expect something to happen. And he's like, what? They're like, they're movie brained. They just think that someone's going to swoop down and magically save it. They're not going to take him on. There's a lot of people who are going to see this.
Here. Hey, you got to get new friends. He got to get new friends. You're a nigger. You're a nigger.
Watch this.
He's a nigger. Look at this saying nigger chimping out. Look at this saying nigger chimping out. Can you? You're not even recording. Look at this dumbass. He's not even recording.
You got me on that.
Yo, quit chimping out, bro. We're just niggas in Christ.
No, I know, but listen. I'm just talking shit like
yeah,
you
can
shit.
say bitch, whatever.
Okay, and you can't
I can say nigger. I can say, yeah, we can. We're on the same page.
But man, I just can't. Man, look.
Bro.
Look, man, look. I believe in
Come on, bro. They're chimping out. Look, get him.
I ain't gonna lie, you a bitch.
Yeah, you're a nigger. I love you, though. Even though you're a nigger, I love you, bro.
I love you. Hey,
I'm praying for you.
As God's children.
Hey, real quick, can we do a prayer? Can we do a prayer real quick?
Hey, but no.
Or what?
Don't pull up background.
This is what he does.
Or what? I don't gotta stop.
I've just got to say right here, in the big 2-6, I did not have on my list of things I expected to see a big white dude standing on the sidewalk, calling a bunch of black guys niggers, and then busting out of Jordanville. It 100% did not expect that to happen.
Stops doing nothing. Can we say a prayer?
I want to pray with you if that's how you speak about people.
Nigger, it's a word.
Come on, bro. Don't call him.
We're all niggers in Christ.
No, we are not, bro.
Yeah.
We're all niggers in
Y'all don't want to read
Christ.
the prayer real quick?
Bro, you a bitch. I ain't gonna lie, you a bitch.
Are you trying to get a clip? You're a nigger. You're just gonna be looking stupid tomorrow. You're gonna look stupid tomorrow.
You gonna make what? Is what you do. You talk about how much money you gonna make right next.
Yeah, we're already making money.
And you just go around and harass people.
I don't harass people.
And then what do? You pepper spray them?
We talk to them.
Or you shoot them?
when you chimp out, if you threaten bodily harm, I'll pepper spray or shoot. I'll defend myself in any way.
Hey, is chimp out not a crazy term?
No.
No?
Why are you shaking? You got adrenaline in you?
Bro. Yeah, you got me mad.
You see how I do this with nothing?
Because you're used to this shit.
No, it's because I'm a real nigga.
But you don't go to no real hoods and do this.
I do, actually. You ever been to Napier Park down the road?
I'm a human nigger going hard as fuck.
All right, well, have a good night. He's going to keep chimping out. God bless you, Dom Luker. Look at Dom Luker chimping out. My dick. Dude, the monkeys love me.
Here's a guy that he actually had a heated confrontation with and then ran into later on.
What's up, nigga? Like we're cool. We're friends.
But see, listen, fam.
That's how you say it, bro.
How did I say it? What up, nigga? How you doing? Isn't that how y'all say it to each other?
The audio and video is out of sync on a few of these, so just it'll look a little odd.
That ain't how you said it.
That is. You heard it wrong last time. You might have been like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. We got off on the wrong foot. You seem like a cool guy. You got like
a lot of money off of that. I done heard about
You heard about me.
Yeah, I done heard.
Well, yeah, because we're bringing back free speech. And you're doing your part to normalize the fact that you ain't got to chimp out on me.
Yeah,
you're being a grown man.
I got a lot of shit to lose down here.
Like,
it may not look like it, but I got a lot of shit to lose.
Yeah, why would you want to lose any of that? Because a law-abiding citizen is coming up to you and speaking to you.
Hey, morning, dude. They people engage with the cameraman sometimes. It's just like a young kid. You'll hear his voice occasionally. I think I got a clip here in a minute where you'll hear his voice. It's just like a young kid that just follows him around and films him sometimes.
Just say, what's up, my nigga?
What up, nigga? That's how you talk.
Yeah, not no E-R. And
what up, nigga? It don't matter. It's the same word.
Nah, but somebody else gonna take it offensive and do something to you.
They try. Yeah, one of them about tried to shoot me the other night.
Yeah, man, be careful, bro.
That's what I'm saying. People gonna try to shoot me, but just like a cowboy back in the day, it's gonna be in the street, a fucking draw. Like I'm a law-abiding citizen. I'm not trying to harm nobody. I'm not trying to antagonize nobody. He walking around with his eyes closed. Somebody need to check on him. Anyways, bro, I really appreciate you having a conversation.
Yeah, you good, bro.
Cause you seem like a nice guy. Ain't nobody hate you, bro. God bless you.
There's
Have a good night. You need anything?
Quick glimpse of the cameraman there. Looks like a little, kind of looks like a little Guido kid. Puerto Rican, maybe. I can't remember his name. It's like Lemonade something, I think. Oh yeah, this is him in front of a black cop.
That nigger guy. Got your body cam on? No? I want to know what y'all were talking about before I walked over here. You've been standing here the whole time in your live stream. What's he videoing me for? You don't know? Anything malicious? You sure he didn't say nothing? Here's that nigger guy. Is that what he said? Huh? You don't got nothing to say though. All right, well, God bless you. Hey, keep the streets safe. White.
Oh yeah, if he'd have gotten a black cameraman, that would have added an extra fascinating layer to the social experiment aspect of it.
All right, well, God bless you. Hey, keep the streets safe. White monster. That's why he's not chimping out. That'll do it.
Try not to laugh.
Black guys need to drink a white monster. It'll make them mature. It'll get them a good job. And it'll be a fucking productive member of society. White Monster. We're gonna get a sponsorship one day too. Oh shit. The cop with the White Monster is based. That nigger's over there videotaping me for fucking, for what? He didn't want nothing to say. Look, it's the nigger guy. Pussy ass, fucking cracker ass nigger. That's a pussy cracker ass nigger right there. That nigger's acting like a cracker if I ever seen it.
It's legitimately just funny content. He is a funny person. And the absurdity of all these different interactions, it's just so entertaining. So funny. Okay, I don't remember off the top of my head. Oh yeah, this one. So here's a white lib dude who comes up to him and tries to have a conversation with him. And this guy has become like an investigative journalist who's posting following the whole story.
God bless you.
I don't know, man.
What?
I'm good.
You don't believe in America? You don't believe in freedom of speech? Why not? You know me. Why can't I get to know you? Hey, look at these are the guys that ruined America. White cucks. White weak men beta cucks. Pussy ass cucks. Yeah. You're a fucking nigger.
What's going on here?
You should be ashamed of yourself.
You're a racist, bro.
I'm an American that believes in freedom.
Yeah, you carry a gun on you.
And bear spray. You want to get used?
No, it's cool, man. You have a conversation?
I'm having a conversation.
So why do you do what you do?
Because I think every man should be able to say whatever they want without being chimped out of.
But you're also perverting the First Amendment. You know that, right?
Perverting it?
Yeah,
How so?
What you're doing is you're baiting people into reactions.
No, I'm not.
And then you say, well, I've got a gun on me. So when people...
No, I didn't say that. You said that.
No, you did, but you said it before. You got a gun on you. Pepper spray people. Look, man, I don't know what the deal is.
You're ruining America, people like you.
Trust me,
Make an
man.
excuse for people that commit violence.
I don't
People
really
who use
think-
violence to suppress our freedoms should not be on your side.
What you're doing is it's not right. It's not morally right. It's just not morally
Why so?
right. You can say what you want. You can say it's First
You just
Amendment
got out of a
speech.
satanic concert. You're telling me what's moral?
Brother, that's not satanic.
Nigger, please.
You can call me what you want.
I'm saying, seriously, be real with yourself.
Well, I don't know what's wrong with your life for you to be like this, but I feel bad. Why didn't
I can help you out.
Why didn't you? That's fine.
I can help you out. You want me to get you on a diet?
Sure.
I was trying to teach this kid
But here's
too.
the thing, man. You could have done like inspirational stuff.
That's what I'm doing.
You could. That's not.
Hey,
this
chat,
isn't
you guys think I'm inspirational? Chat, you guys think I'm inspirational?
Look, man. Hey, that's the love for you. I hope nothing bad happens.
You want to walk up and down the street?
No.
And you'll see how much inspirational I am.
No, man. Listen.
You'll see how inspiring I am for all of these Americans who believe in real freedom.
But will you walk? Hey, like Walker Flocka said, will you walk in the trenches?
Nigger, I've been to the trenches.
No,
I
you
go to
haven't.
the trenches. I give them.
If we both grew up here, you haven't been to the.
Have you been in Napier Park?
You haven't been to the.
You know where Napier Park is?
Man, you won't do it.
I've been there.
I hope you be careful.
Have you not seen my videos?
I hope one day you turn this
Why do you
around.
say the same shit all the commenters do? Bet you won't go here. Bet you won't go there.
I'm not a commenter about
This
anything.
beta white cuck. These are the guys that ruined America, and men like me are bringing it back.
Now, this is one of the earlier videos that I saw of him before the shooting. Not one of the earlier videos, but this was one of the videos I'd had lined up and ready to go before the shooting, along with some after this. And at the time, given having not seen all these other interactions that I've played for you guys, and a bunch more that I didn't include because it gets a little repetitive, I saw this as him like, these guys are just minding their own business, and he just walks up and starts cussing them out and berating them, and then this guy is I'm not a fan of the guy, but the guy's just sort of like an ordinary dude, and he's like trying to have a good faith conversation with him, and he's just berating him. That was the read of it that I'd had when I first saw this video. I didn't have all that other background context. And I kind of had a similar thing happen that, like, when I first started listening to Jay Dyer, like 7 years ago, something like that. And I listened and I was like, man, why is he so aggressive in these debates? Like, why is he so just jump to just insulting people so quickly? He's so rude. And that's not good for it. It's not productive. That was my opinion on him, like 7 years ago or something. And then I kept listening, and honestly, it's because my dad had said you should listen to him, which is funny because my dad would not like this whole thing at all. He's very conservative, very right wing, voted for Trump every time. He would not like this whole shtick at all. He's like older Gen X. He was the one who told me to listen to Jay Dyer, and after the thousands of hours of Jay Dyer, I realized that Dyer's actually extraordinarily patient. He's incredibly patient. He's incredibly generous with his time. He sits there and has the exact same conversation over and over and over again. And every single person he's having a conversation with thinks that they're the first one who has ever said this stuff to him. I kind of had a similar reaction with him having had my initial impression of him and then going back and watching a bunch of the other stuff. Where I was like, I see this whole interaction here in a different light. He's like holding the flabby man to account. He's not letting him like weasel word his way out of it. He's holding him to account. And it helps that he's the opposite of non-confrontational. He's totally willing to engage in his tolerance for confrontation is like at the top, like 99th percentile. And yet again, like this is a factor to consider if you're, when someone's doing this kind of content, is like for this guy, this is the first, like this is his only frame for this conversation. He doesn't have the frame of all of the other stuff. I mean, he said he was familiar with him, but so each person that he encounters is like its own standalone, isolated event. So the fact that he has all this background that portrays him to be different than he may appear in this single interaction doesn't necessarily change the dynamic of each individual interaction.
Yeah. Go over there, short
You're
guy.
not breaking it.
Go over there, little dude. We're
not
bringing
bringing
America back. That's why you know who I am, and I don't know who the fuck you are.
You see how
You're
aggressive?
unforgiving. Yeah, I'm aggressive.
Yeah.
I hate
That's
guys like
you're
you.
miserable.
Right.
You don't even know me.
I hate beta white cucks that make excuses
Beta white
for
cucks.
violent
Well, I'm
animals.
happily married. You're not.
I guarantee you she's getting fucked by a nigger behind your back.
You can say what you want about
I guarantee you, buddy. Have a good
You're a
one.
miserable motherfucker.
Good guys like that are really ruining this country.
All right, and then here was there was that interaction, and then this one here that these are ones that I just cannot. These are over the line in my opinion.
Oh, you wanna go to the friendly with me?
I didn't hear you.
There's Alan Jackson himself, man.
Chud the Builder.
Huh?
Chud the Builder. I'm the white guy calling niggers niggers. You didn't hear about me?
Whoa.
Whoa!
What is it?
We're bringing the freedom of speech back.
Yeah?
Back in his day, he had that.
What?
Freedom of speech.
Well, what'd you say?
We can say whatever we want.
Well, I can say whatever I want.
Exactly. And nigger.
What is it?
We can say nigger if we want.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. I don't agree with that.
Oh, these boomers.
I got blacks in my family.
It's okay.
So
Blacks.
fuck you, man.
No, or what? Fuck you, nigger lover.
Nigger lover.
You heard me. Look at this bitch ass. Oh my God. Get over. Come on, we're making fans.
Right, weird target selection. That one and this one.
How's it going, sir? God bless you.
How you doing?
I'm doing all right. You're the guy, you own the honky tonk?
Nope, I'm just one of the folks that work here.
They won't let me in here.
They won't. Why not?
Because I said the N-word on the internet. Now they say I'm just an un-American person because I believe in freedom of speech. Isn't that crazy?
So notice that he doesn't lead with it here. For whatever reason, he like quiets his voice down a little bit. He's like, I said the N-word on the internet. He changes up his thing when he talks to this guy. But now he's gauging him for a reaction.
Well, considering that two of my boys are black, I can understand that.
Why does that matter?
It does. I don't like it. Just go ahead.
You don't like freedom of speech either?
Just go ahead and go.
I'm gonna stand right here, nigger. What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna give me a police officer.
I'm gonna go to jail? Look at him. He's gonna waddle over to the cop. Considering two of my boys are black. Fuck him. And guys like that are why the country is the way it is.
So then he has a follow-up. He goes back and meets up with the same guy again.
Should we go say hi to this faggot?
Yeah.
How's it going, guys? Did you ever talk to that cop yesterday? What did he tell you?
I'm gonna tell you something. You are a racist, no good story piece of crap. But your mother likes to suck black dick, and so do you. That's what your mouth is for. You are no
shipping out.
You are sorry.
Hey, don't spit on me, nigger.
Hey.
Don't spit on me, nigger.
I'll spit on you all
Don't spit on me, nigger.
What are you gonna do?
I'll spit
Not
your
a
ass
thing.
right in the face.
No, you won't either.
Goddamn right.
You won't either.
Goddamn
You won't
right.
either. You racist piece of crap. You racist piece of crap.
Nigger lover.
I love my son.
Nigger lover.
You know what you love? You love having shit that love ass.
You love raising the kids that your wife cheated on you with.
You love shit.
It's another man's kid. It's not yours.
I'm not.
Yeah, Mellis says, I agree with him that these old guys drop the ball, but they're old AF. You're not going to get anywhere with this one. Right. It's just pointless abuse. That's my issue with it. Do your whole thing. Don't go pick out the old elderly dude who's just sitting there minding his own business. Go instigate something with him and then just start insulting him. This is not the way to solve the boomer lib problem. This is kind of what I mean by if you want to, like, one of my initial impressions of him was this is the way you keep the Civil Rights Act narrative alive. This is the way you breathe life into it. This is how you keep people buying into it. This is how you sustain it. Just like the people who just relentlessly spurg about the nation of Israel on the internet are the ones who are breathing the last bit of life into the corpse of Zionism. This is not used. A great condemnation of our society is that we have a tall, powerful, handsome white guy walking up to an old white dude and yelling at him that he's a nigger lover, and then going back to spark it up again. This interaction here, this is niggerish behavior.
I'm not doing nothing.
Yeah, it's just really fun.
I just wanted to talk to him. You saw what happened. Don't give it. This is a live stream, lady. I hope you're not an officer of law. You're not. You're not. Don't talk to me like that. Go bake some bread. Go home and break some bread, all right? Literally. Fucking bitch, get in the kitchen.
And it's funny. Like, both of the interactions are funny. I can't help that. They're good content. It's definitely entertaining. But, like, why is she the one? Why does she have to show up and get berated on the internet today? She's not responsible for the degradation of American society. There's no need for any of this. This isn't productive. This isn't pro-civilizational behavior. This isn't white man behavior. Yeah, Tikon, it's a guilty entertaining. Yeah, right. Like it's funny. It's really funny. But that's where it's like this isn't productive. All the other ones that I showed today I think they're all pretty good. But those are the ones that I saw early on. Those are the ones that colored my perspective early on, and maybe there's a lesson in that. Please do tip your streamer, folks. We're only at $75 so far. Please do tip your streamer. Tips.kingpill.com. Link is pinned in the Kick chat. And also go to forum.kingpill.com and sign up for if we hit the tip goal tonight, if we do hit it, or on any given day this month, then I will do a drawing, and 10% of the total goal will go, or the total take for the day will go to one person in the form of a gift card from a retailer of your choice. All right, so now here's a couple of the interactions where they were a little more violent.
Touch me again.
I don't want to get pepper sprayed. I really don't.
Go pick up my hat, nigger. You heard me, nigga.
Fuck your shit.
Touch me again.
You fucking.
Are you a mess?
No, I'm on your mom.
Don't touch me, nigger.
Yeah,
I like him. He's cool. He got a real deal.
Hey, fuck
American
family
And notice the difference between these two guys throughout this whole interaction.
lineage. Cool.
Your family lineage, we used to own them. We used to own yours.
I'm gonna bend him over and I'm gonna fuck him. Actually, no, I'm gonna get the next girl I see to bend him over and fuck him. I'm gonna get
my dick
over his dad and fuck him. So on and so on, like all the way till we get to
my dick.
You're great.
You're hitting me, nigger. Stop touching me.
Did they wear wings?
Back up, nigger.
Did they wear?
Back up, nigger.
He's scared.
Ain't nobody scared of your dumbass, nigger.
That's why they kept us out of golf.
Don't touch me again. I swear, I will defend myself. I will defend myself.
Thank you for the $20, Mathers. Appreciate you, sir. The white man is back.
You're a nigger.
You gotta respect it. You're a bitch. Your mama's a bitch.
If I was a bitch, would I be standing here looking you dead in the eyes? You can't even look me in the eyes.
That's a good point.
You're a nigger.
What you're doing.
Yeah. It's riling you up, getting you to chimp out. Because we want you in jail.
No, I'm finna call you.
I'm catching clout.
He is about to call you a chimp. Because you acting like one, nigga.
Run, sit down on
Get out of his face, too. Get out of his face, too, boy.
Fuck a bitch.
This nigga's on meth.
Sit down.
Somebody come get this
You got
nigga.
another word other than nigger? This guy's so stale.
Jigaboo.
Like, he's gonna be falling off in like a month, bro. He's gotta keep it fresh, bro. And you're just being silent watching it. Did you sign up?
NLE Chopper just said
NDA?
they was gonna put a $10,000 bounty or some shit on me.
Weak ass 10K.
That's why I said
Niggers will take that. Niggers
They
will
would.
take that.
They would. This guy probably take it.
Basically, yeah. Yo,
he got Fendi glasses on. You ain't got shit. You got lens crafters on, pussy ass nigga. This dude, that's why he's making money and you ain't. And he got the V-Lone on. What you wearing, nigga? Your work shirt?
Bitch.
What does that say?
You're a bitch.
He's got really good trash talk.
You ain't never gonna be nothing but a bitch.
So all you guys do is talk.
You can't look me in the eyes because you might be the nigga.
Are you on some shrooms or something? What are you on?
I told you I'm on your mama's sweet pussy, bitch.
You're a bitch, bro. Literally, all you do is talk about your dick.
Ah, I'm sorry. I'm a nigger.
Come back over here.
Okay. Let's not.
Come back over here.
Let's not fight. I am.
Touch me again. Touch me again.
I don't want to get pepper sprayed. I really don't.
Go pick up my hat, nigger. You heard me, nigga.
Fuck your shit.
Touch me again. Touch me again, nigger. That's what I thought. Thank you.
Hey, don't hit me with that shit.
I ain't gonna pray you. That motherfucker wants to put his hands on me again. Go home with shit. Let's go get his ass.
Now here again, here's another thing where there's a pattern that in the ones where there's actually conflict. This sort of speaks to the court case later on. In the patterns where there's actually conflict, he persists. He goes out and he pursues it.
Hail Hitler, nigger. Hey, thanks for picking up my hat. Look at this. Get her. Get her. Let's go get that dude. Yeah, you better run, you pussy ass motherfucker. He just assaulted me. Arrest him. Are you a cop?
Trucklord.
Replay gang checking in.
Thank you, Replay Gang. Trucklord with the $50. My man.
Boner alert.
Yeah, I do not ever want to find myself in a situation where I'm getting bear sprayed. A core part of my philosophy in life is avoid getting into situations where you might get bear sprayed.
You're not a cop. Pussy, yeah. Throw some shit and run away, faggot. You fucking faggot. Go fuck yourself, faggot. He just threw some shit at me. Arrest him right now. Arrest him right now.
This is gay.
Huh?
You didn't see anything.
It's on live stream. Clip it, send it to my DMs, chat.
I got hit with the taco.
Chat.
Come out here. Chat. Get out of his face. Don't come up to me.
Flickering.
This ChudTheBuilder NI663R shit is off the chain.
Thank you, Flicker Rate. So true.
Do not come up to me. You're in my face.
I didn't do anything.
Get out of my face.
Touch me, bitch.
Get out of my face. I will defend myself.
Do it.
Somebody arrest him. Get him and fucking put him his ass. He just threw shit at me.
He didn't do
Look at all this. You see what I'm saying? I'm walking away. He threw shit at me because he's a pussy.
That wasn't him. Bitch, bro. You're a fucking Nazi bitch. Turn me up.
Yeah. Give me a second. This guy just threw shit at me. Literally.
G-Cop. Yeah, Trust Plantstar says the nigger stuff is a bit tacky, but I 100% support insulting fat libtards in public. Yeah, calling that Zimmer Dillon says calling a woman a fag is pretty funny. It is very much. And then afterwards, so like that whole thing just, I thought it would have been interesting after he had the bear spray interaction. The guy's buddy was trying to keep talking to him, and I thought it would have been interesting to see where that went. But you could see how like I'm not saying that this Jeff with the 512. Thank you. Oh, did that round us out to an even 160? What was I going to say? Like I don't just I'm not saying this is going to decide things one way or the other with the his case, but I am just noting that in the instances where he does,
back, baby.
take on
The white man is back.
Irish people aren't niggers, you nigger. See Kyle.
Thank you, Tikon. my Irish brother. I'm like 20% Irish. The Irish is like the niggers of the white people or something. But he what was I saying? Oh, he does seem to have this habit of when the conflict does get kinetic, he goes in harder. So it's still not totally clear what the actual exact details of the shooting incident are. We'll go through those here in a little bit. But I am noticing that pattern in these videos is when his willingness to stand up to confrontation actually, and then like the incentive of the streaming and everything, leads him to go pursue the conflict once it happens. But then there's this right afterwards.
Hey, I'm genuinely sorry.
No.
Are you good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My face is on fire, man.
No, it isn't, is it?
Yes, we're in pain.
This girl, she's got Allison Cooper eyes. She's talking about, I'm crying.
Okay. Like, my face is literally on fire. You don't have to be a dick.
Do you, I mean, seriously, I can go get you some milk.
But
It actually helps.
does it actually help?
No, the liquid fat takes the capsaicin out. Yeah.
That is a fact.
That is a fact.
Where's the milk?
They might have some in here for real.
If they have milk, yeah, I'll take it. Oh.
Seriously,
Yeah.
they won't let me in there, but I'll give you some money and go get some milk.
No, that's fine. I don't want to get up.
I was not trying to.
Yeah, I appreciate
Obviously, y'all saw what happened. The guy was trying to fight me.
I saw part of it, like the end part of it.
Yeah.
And so I missed the beginning part where he like first put.
He
his
knew me.
face on
He knew me because I'm famous on the internet. He wanted to fucking yell at me because he knows who I am. And his buddy was like, "Hey man, you're acting a fool. You're making us look bad." And that's who his buddy was. I was just talking to.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So like,
how's this guy summoning scene girls? Yeah. He's got a special magnetism about him.
They
see, all you have to do is just start saying nigger on the street out in public, and the women will just line up for you.
Slander me. They say a lot of bullshit about me on the internet. I don't antagonize people. You see what just happened. I'm ChudTheBuilder.
I don't know who that is.
You know, like Bob the Builder? So I'm just an internet chud. The dumb chud. You know me.
I don't know you.
You will soon.
Now, I do find it interesting that he seems to be avoiding doing his typical bit with them. I don't know why that is, but it is interesting seeing the times that he sort of will break his character a little bit, like with the old guy, where he goes up and he says, I say the N-word on the internet. And with this one, he's like, oh yeah, I'm just like a streamer, you know, ChudTheBuilder, like Bob the Builder. I don't know why it is that when he decides to pull out the moves and when he doesn't. Maybe he just wanted to dial down. This was the big one. He had just gotten onto my radar for maybe a week or so when this video went viral.
Did you just hit me, bitch?
I will fucking
You
hit
just
you,
did.
Bitch. Fucking try me,
did.
bitch. Try me.
All
Fucking
y'all
try
going to
me,
jail.
fucking dumb bitch.
He's A/B testing.
Pick up your shit. Oh, you fucking amazing. Streaming right now?
You look amazing!
What up?
Hey,
Just want the pussy lips licked. She just wants the pussy
How many
lips
people
licked.
you got in there right now?
We got a bunch.
Y'all got a bunch. Tell the boys to follow me on Instagram at TheyLoveIndy.
Only if you believe in freedom of speech.
I believe in freedom of speech.
So white people can say nigger, right?
Oh, hey, yo.
No freedom of speech?
Oh, you
That's
lucky
how
I
y'all believe
ain't
it?
put you in my mouth.
You wouldn't do shit, bitch.
We did.
Come on over here.
You gotta chill, yo. You gotta chill.
She wouldn't do shit. You wouldn't do a goddamn thing. Go ahead and chimp out. Ooh, ah, ah.
Still talking?
Yeah, nigger, we're still talking. What's that?
At the truck now, that's what that is.
Yeah, I'm chilling at the truck. What are you gonna do about it? I'm right here.
Been right here. Right there.
What are you mad about a word for?
Niggas won't mad until you say some bullshit.
What'd I say, nigger?
White cracker?
Does that bother you?
White cracker, does that bother you?
Not really.
My truck way better than your shit.
Okay. Hey, get away from my shit.
Go ahead pee on that shit. Go ahead pee on that shit.
You're peeing?
Yeah.
Look at him live. Look at him live. He's pissing.
Yep, right in the truck. Right in the truck.
You piss on my truck.
Bitch ass nigga. Bitch ass nigga.
Look at him run.
That's what I thought. Touch my truck again, nigger.
Ooh, boy, I swear to God, bro.
Come on over here. Come on over here.
So you gonna spray niggas after?
Yeah.
So you record.
Ian says if he didn't get involved in this shooting, it was only a matter of time until he escalated to hitting blacks with a whip. He'd be like, hey niggers, check out my whip.
Come on, bro. Suck my dick, fucking cracker.
You see this nigger?
Come on, suck my dick, you fucking cracker. Yeah, go ahead, take your shit.
Come back over here.
I'm chilling. He's all over your fucking truck.
You better not hit him. You better not hit him.
Oh, we're just getting your face on the live. Y'all going to jail.
I gotta say, his camera work is pretty good.
Let's go.
We know the game, right? We know the game.
Touch my truck again.
Yeah, you know the game. And let me see that. Let me see that hook.
Let's go. Let's go.
Let's see your face.
Let's go. See, come on, bro. Let's go.
Give me my trailer hitch right now, nigger. Citizen arrest.
This is where it gets really gay.
You're on the ground right now. Get on the ground. Get on the ground.
Bitch ass nigga.
Your mom is, nigger. Get on the ground, nigger. Y'all going to jail tonight.
Don't touch me.
Vandalism.
Don't touch me.
Y'all going to jail.
Ain't nobody vandalism nothing.
They're calling the cops right now. You're live streaming.
Yeah, okay. So same people that's real.
Dumbass nigger.
Yup, I need that.
You too, you fat mud shark bitch. Come sucker punch me then, you dumb mud shark bitch. Y'all all gonna be famous.
White trash, bro.
Come kick my ass. Did you just hit me, bitch?
I will fucking
You
hit
just
you,
did.
bitch. Fucking try me,
did.
bitch. Try me.
All y'all
Fucking
going
try
to jail.
me, fucking dumb bitch. Come over.
Pick up your shit, dumbass. Pick up your shit.
Oh, you fucking made me.
Y'all going to jail.
Pick up your shit, bro. Pick up your shit, bro.
The tortita wasn't happy.
I swear to God, bro. One punch, go. One punch, go. Back your bitch ass up.
Come on.
Back your bitch ass up, boy.
Y'all going to jail, every one of y'all.
Look what you just did. You recorded the whole thing.
Goddamn right.
I appreciate the evidence.
Goddamn right. Yeah, there it is, right there.
Niggas gonna kill your load. Niggas gonna kill your load.
You gonna kill me?
Still daddy.
Come on.
Please stop facing her.
Every one of them go to jail. Every one of them going to jail.
He recorded the whole thing.
It's live stream.
He recorded the whole thing.
Everything's live stream. Goddamn right. Me.
My friend, and she's
Ain't nobody touched my
I'm at my truck. They followed me down there. I'm live streaming the whole thing. And then he's.
And here's the thing, like, when I saw this video, I was honestly expecting him to get arrested after this video. Because there was plenty of times where he was going after people who were retreating away from him, and he's macing them and chasing them down and macing them. And there was like the incident with the chick where she came up on him, you know, kind of whatever, goes either way, I guess. But he's actively running after them and pursuing them and trying to, and you know, there's no like self-defense in this. Maybe he's trying to get his hitch, but he's running after the guy who doesn't have the hitch and just chasing him and trying to mace him. I was honestly kind of surprised he didn't get arrested after this.
Started vandalizing my truck.
Hang out right here.
Can you hold your eyes, please?
Stand right there.
See you in jail.
Fuck you, bitch.
Y'all going to jail.
Did you just? So I don't know how he wound up not being arrested and all of that. But, I mean, shout out to Tennessee cops, I guess. Things were really starting to escalate before this. Here's him at a gas station.
Left. The one that spit on me, left. There's 2 other niggers here. There's a bunch of other niggers here. Can you please hurry? Stop approaching me. Stop approaching me. Leave me alone. Tell it, dude. I'm trying to get out of here. They keep pulling their cars behind mine. One's parked right in front of mine. They're false imprisoning me. He's walking up on me with a gun. Yes, dude, yes. There's many of them here. The one that assaulted me left.
The one that spit on me left. There's 2 other niggers here. There's a bunch of other niggers here. Can you please hurry up?
Let him have it, bro. Let him have it. Listen for a reaction. Let him have it. See, bumping it the whole time. He said he's scared, bro. He said he's scared. Don't walk up on him.
Yeah, you might not want to keep walking up on me. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. I'm going to tell you again, leave me alone. I will defend myself. I will defend myself. I'm starting to fear for my life.
Me too.
So that the lines he's reciting there, leave me alone, back up, stop coming towards me, I will defend myself, I'm beginning to fear for my life. When this was posted online, this guy actually was on this tweet here. The guy said, "This is you screaming for your life, coward." And his reply was, "Preparing to defend my life. These words are what would exonerate me. Stay tuned." So he's clearly in tune with the legal realities of everything, and there's clearly a lot of he's planning, he's anticipating this sort of situation, and is aware of the legal exigencies that he would need to navigate. That was not the shooting incident. No. Thus far, there isn't clear video of the shooting incident itself. We're going to get to that here in just a sec. This is a clip from him talking about his family, and this is where, like, you know, the videos are funny, the content is great. I appreciate, I guess, the goal that he's trying to achieve, even if he's willing to sacrifice himself in the process of it. But this is the darker side of it.
I might as well just tell you what I'm really upset about. My son's mother texted me today saying that she wants to change his name. Switch it from mine. She fears for him. She said, she's like, "Oh, you've tarnished your name, and I don't want him to have to deal with that." And I'm sitting there thinking, I walk through the streets and respectable people are literally stopping their cars in the road to shake my hand. I'm walking past people that want to take a picture every second. And the only people that don't like me are niggers that are trying to kill me. I might as well just tell you.
Yeah, it does get sad real quick. Yeah, that's hard to get past. That he has a son, he has a child, he has a wife, and I don't know all the details about the relationship. They're estranged from each other, and from what I could gather, if someone knows more, say it in the chat. From what I could gather, it's the separation from his wife and the separation from the church happened basically in and around the same time. There was clearly stuff that was going on with him, and from his wife's perspective, like, I can't blame her. I can't blame her for not wanting her son to grow up associated with him. And these are the things that, like, the decisions that a single guy can make and the decisions that a married guy can make are very, very different. So, again, if he sees himself as a fool for Christ, he sees himself as sacrificing himself for the cause, and all these other, he's going to have to answer for the things that he's done to his family in the course of all of this. And if he thinks that that's a price worth paying, then he thinks that's a price worth paying. And this isn't he characterizes this as like, "Oh, I have all these great interactions and I don't understand why people hate me." No, man. No, you brought this on yourself. You knew exactly what you were doing. You signed up for this. And if you didn't know that this was going to happen based on that, you're just, oh, I'm just going to do content and I'm going to come up with like a noble explanation for why I'm actually justified in all of this or whatever. Maybe that is justification. Maybe that is a justification. Maybe it is valid in the like the eternal sense. I really highly doubt it, but ultimately that's not for me to judge. But you signed up for it. You got to own it. If you're going to make yourself the martyr for the cause, you've got to be the martyr for the cause when the subs and the money and the viral clips are flowing in. And you got to be the martyr for the cause when your wife is wanting to keep your son away from you and change his name so that they don't get hunted down by angry blacks who are mad about what you're doing on the internet. And this kind of ties in then to the legal case. And I've been hemming and hawing on this and going back and forth on it. So we'll talk about that here next. I need a little bit of a bathroom break, and I'll be doing maybe a little bit more talking in this here. So I'm going to give my voice just a break. Give you guys a brief EWBSX break, and we will continue.
Holy immortal, have mercy on us. Glory to the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit, now and forever and unto ages of ages. Amen. Holy immortal, have mercy on us. With strength, holy God, holy mighty, holy immortal, have mercy on
They'll look high and they'll look low.
They'll look everywhere we go. But when the sinners find us, we won't hide.
They'll come loud and they'll come fast.
But we shoot first and we can last. Keep your rifle by your side. Singing, oh Lord, this earth was made for us. Singing, oh Lord, this sinful life just ain't enough. So we'll take a stand, 'cause we must protect our land. Keep your rifle by your side. They'll come day and they'll come night. They'll have our children in their sights. But if they don't have faith, their eyes are blind.
They can scream and they can shout, but they can never smoke us out.
Keep your rifle by your side. Singing, oh Lord, this earth was made for us. Singing, oh Lord, this sinful life just ain't enough. When we hear the voice, we know we have no other choice. Keep your rifle by your side.
They'll have bombs and they'll have tanks, 'cause they've got money in their banks.
I give you a list of historical figures, prominent figures from history, and you'll tell me whether or not they were white or black?
Shoot, give me your best shot.
Where did we start? Okay, Beethoven.
Black.
Mozart.
Black.
Cleopatra.
She looked black, but she was white.
She looked black, but
listen,
she was
you're not
white?
answering my question. It's not the color of your skin that you're being judged by, but the seed of your father.
William Shakespeare.
Undoubtedly black, without question.
Abraham Lincoln.
That's still in the...
We are already deeply in debt to God. So deeply in debt because of the great generosity of God in all that he does, in every way, our very existence, our life, the air that we breathe, the food that we eat, our material wealth to whatever extent we have it, and of course for his mercy, his forgiveness, and for Christ himself coming to us in the incarnation. We are so indebted to God already that nothing we do can possibly earn us a reward before God.
Oh, man, nice wholesome break. That worked out very nicely. Tikon says, you got your best American Eagle polo on with your girl in the passenger seat listening to this. Oh, baby. Oh, American Eagle polo with the puka shells. And I had like the hair, the short, dark hair with the spikes, the blonde tips. I was cool, man. I was mainstream. All right, let's talk about the case against Chud now, and I mean in this case, I mean the legal case. Please do tip your streamer. Tips.kingpill.com. We're almost halfway to the goal for tonight. We've got a few things here. We're gonna watch a video of Andrew Branca, a great self-defense lawyer, influencer, commentator who talks about his bond, why his bond was set what it's at, and some of the other components of that, the case against him, how the self-defense case works in this particular case. And then we're going to talk a bit about the a broader conversation about strategy and tactics and relating to the populace at large around the subject of Chud. So let's get started here. So Chud posting on the day of the incident, gee, I hope I can shoot a black guy today. In self-defense, I mean. Okay, here I go. The guy he shot posting, hey, I'm about to head out and pose a credible threat to this guy's life. Who knows what I'm capable of? Wish me luck. They're attorneys. Fuck my stupid Chungus life. Now, wait, the stream's dead? Why is the stream dead? It's still up on my end. Oh, no, it did go down. Let's see. Yeah, frames are dropped. Let's see if it picks back up again. Pull this over here. It still says that we're live. It's trying to pick up the stream again. I don't think that the internet went down. I'm trying to see if it's down on the other streams as well. The internet's... What does this mean? So if that's coming up, yeah, it looks like X isn't loading either. Let me double check the internet connection here. I got to keep talking because I don't know if it's at what point I'm going to come back. X isn't loading. We're back. We're back? Are we back? Confirmation? Skipping AF. Okay. I'm trying to see if it's still up on the other streams. Working? Is it good? Can you see? Can you hear? Gotta stop using LimeWire. Man, there basically isn't something better. Okay, we are back. We are back. Okay, nothing's working down here. Amy says, yell loud enough to see if we're back. Okay, let me say, I'm going to say chicken. Type chicken in the chat when you hear that. We'll see if it's chicken. Okay, there. Yeah, so it seems to be back. Yep, seems to be back. Not too bad. Delay of 5 seconds maybe, which is maybe a little longer than usual, 5 or 10 seconds. But, all right, well, we'll see what happens when I go to play a video here in a minute. We'll see if it actually plays. But where did it leave off? Did you guys get me reading the tweet here about the lawyers reacting? Now this is, you guys already know from what I said earlier that the guy who he shot actually did not post this. That was a hoax, a viral hoax. But this one here, what Chud said, gee, I hope I can shoot a black guy today in self-defense. I mean, oh, here I go. That's actually not too far off. Because May 7th, so 6 days before the actual shooting, is you lost you when you came back. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I said anything. You guys will see it later on if you go watch. If you end up watching the replay, you'll see it. You'll see it later on. I'm trying to figure out. You guys will keep talking like there's a big delay. And post a salute emote when you see this. Post a Roman when you get to this. Okay, yeah, there's no delay. There's no delay. If you're still getting a delay, you just got to refresh the app. Okay. 6 days before the actual shooting, he posted this. It's still up there. Series finale is dead chimp on the pavement and you monkeys rioting when I walk free. Stay tuned. Yeah, he really should not have tweeted that. He really, really should not have tweeted that. I mean, again, unless the whole purpose of all of this is precisely, he is fully prepared to go all the way through with this, and he's trying to create the circumstances whereby he goes all the way through with this. He's willing to die in prison over this cause. If he is willing to do that, then I tip my cap to him. And also, what would naturally follow from that is that he should be sent to prison for the rest of his life in service of the cause. Like, he at least should be prepared for that, and it's not a grave injustice if that happens. Because here's the thing where there's the actual rules, and then there's how it's actually going to work. And these are not necessarily going to be equal. And then a separate question is how it ought to work. And then a separate question from that is how we get from how it does work to how it ought to work. And then we can evaluate what's happening with Chud and see, does this move the ball forward in that direction? Or is he just needlessly throwing himself upon the ramparts, making a martyr of himself to ultimately, I don't know, become a historical footnote? In general, I don't recommend that anybody in any context ever pursue the strategy of, I'm going to launch myself at the thing that I am opposed to and martyr myself against it. In virtually every case, that's not a productive way to obtain what you're trying to obtain. For example, Thomas Massey. Thomas Massey is a great example of this sort of strategy played out in the political sphere. And I'm saying this as I'm going to just sort of suspend disbelief, and I'm just going to take him on good faith, assume that he truly means what he means and is standing on his principles, and he believes them, and he truly and good-heartedly believes this is the proper thing for me to do to achieve my goals of minimizing the tyrannical reach of the United States federal government and reducing the tax burden on people and, achieving some sort of a more libertarian outcome with the federal government. The route that he's chosen is not the route that will actually produce that outcome. He can complain all he wants about Israel buying his seat in Congress. And my response to him would be, why is your seat up for sale? Why did you put yourself in a position where your seat could be purchased? Why did you create the demand for your seat to be purchased? J.D. Vance said this very, very well when he was asked about this several months ago. He said, I love Tom. I love Thomas Massey. I think he's a good man. But the fact of the matter is, if you choose to constantly oppose your party, constantly be a stick in the mud to the party, then you can't be surprised when the party finally turns on you and throws you out. We'll talk about this more in the future, I think, with, I got some stuff with maybe tomorrow's show or the future show, with the way that the neocons are actually able to accomplish this. This is why when the neocons do win, this is why they win. Is because they understand how to actually play the game. And if you're going to play the game, you need to understand the rules of the game. So if Chud was committed to playing this game, and he understood the rules of the game, then you can make your like abstracted idealistic argument about how, this is a great injustice and he shouldn't have the book thrown at him and whatever else. But when you're talking about like public awareness, public sympathies, public consciousness, if you're talking about trying to move the ball forward on this front, then you need to take those things into consideration. And it's going to be substantially compelling to a lot of people to say, even if you were to make the case of like, this is a good noble thing that he's doing, then they're going to be like, well, he undertook a series of actions that he knew would lead to him being imprisoned. And people who go out into public and engage in actions that are knowingly going to direct them toward prison, that's a bad thing, and we don't want that. So prison is where he belongs for this reason or that reason. There's going to be a lot of people. I know this because I held a not a super strong, but I kind of held this position a couple weeks ago. I want him in prison just for being a public nuisance, just for going and like putting cameras in people's faces and sparking fights with them and brandishing or like insinuating that you're willing to get in a shootout and then you actually get into a conflict and you're pursuing the conflict, chasing it down. I was like, this is niggerish behavior. I don't want to just put him in prison for that. I don't care about free speech or self-defense or whatever. Just come up with whatever thing you need to put him in prison. Then I went back and I listened to him some more, watched some more of his stuff. I guess maybe say got to know him a little bit better. And my take on that has softened. I haven't completely abandoned it, but it's kind of softened a little bit. Let me just try something here real quick. I've noticed that the little chat widget is not working, so I'm going to try refreshing it and see if that will resolve it. Someone send a chat. See if it'll update. I think when the internet went down for whatever reason, something's happening. We're just going to get a black bar there now. Maybe it just took a minute to refresh. All right, well, I'll refresh it again over here, and then we'll see if it actually happens. I'm still getting notifications that are coming through, so the connection between OBS and the streaming services isn't completely broken. But, all right, so like posting something like series finale is dead chimp on the pavement and you monkeys rioting when I walk free, stay tuned. When this gets put before a jury, this alone is going to be substantially compelling. It's going to be very hard to sell the idea that he was not out there actively looking to create a situation like this. And when you're dealing with a jury, like ultimately you can break down the facts and you can make your arguments, but like that's the whole thing. Is one side's going to break down the facts and make their arguments, and the other side is going to do the same, and normies are going to make the decision, are going to make the call on it. This is a bug and a feature of the jury system. I'd say probably at this point substantially a bug. But even if you got a bunch of white people on the jury, even if it was a bunch of white people, even if it was a bunch of white conservatives, even if it was a bunch of white conservatives in their 30s or 40s, it's going to be very difficult to make a case that you might as well just throw something at him and lock him up because he was asking for it. He had it coming. And really, ultimately, This whole thing has nothing to do with free speech at all. That's kind of the irony of this. That if we assume that like basically he was intentionally trying to he was open, at the very least he was very open to winding up in this sort of situation, winding up in these circumstances, having it play out like this. This was on the flow chart. I don't remember what I was saying with that. Brain just wiped itself. Seeing this black bar up here next is distracting to me. Camo Aquatica says he should go to jail for being a public nuisance, but there are a couple million actual criminals in line ahead of him that governments look the other way on. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to say. That this is not actually going to be about free speech. His whole thing is like he's a free speech advocate, and so he's created these confrontational controversies, made them go viral, and is inciting these incidents to prove a point with the full understanding that it very likely is going to wind up with him getting in a shooting. As he says here, series finale is dead chimp on the pavement and you monkeys rioting when I walk free. Stay tuned. There's a lot of people who would see that and they would be like, just on principle, he should be locked up for being like, I'm going to go kill someone in the street. I'm going to go provoke an incident where I kill someone in the street and I'm going to try to do it in just the right legal way so that I get off on it and everyone else gets angry. I've showed that I think he's a very complicated person, and I'm very much inclined to be very sympathetic to him, but that sentiment alone is a anti-civilizational sentiment. If you want a civilization, if you're sad about the way that your civilization has degraded itself, the way you resolve that isn't by degrading it further. It isn't by going out and trying to create a gunfight in the street so you can kill someone so that you can like try to skate through the justice system and get out on the other side and be like, hey, look at that, all is well. Like, that's not going to improve the circumstances. That's not going to improve race relations. That's not going to defang white people saying nigger in public. If anything, it's going to add weight to it. It's going to reignite that sort of controversy, that sort of conflict. And this is what I mean, where you can have all the right motivations. You can be acting in good faith. You can you could even have the letter of the law on your side. And yet the actual consequences of the actions you choose to take could not only not lead where you're trying to get them to go, but they could lead in the opposite direction. You could wind up reinforcing the very thing that you claim to be fighting against. Tikon says, I'm surprised they went straight to attempted murder. The DA probably had him on radar. I'm sure, yeah. I guarantee you they would have had him on the radar. And, like, my guess, just if someone put a gun to my head and said, what do you think is going to be the outcome? I'd say, I think the most lenient outcome that he's going to get is some type of felony gun charge. And he's going to do some time and then get out on probation or something like that. Like, I would guess that would be a very positive outcome for him, given the circumstances, just from what I've seen thus far. Some things may change, but as of right now, yeah. Jeff Accordion says it's degenerate behavior cloaked in principle, very libertarian. Yes, that's exactly what it is. Yes, it's degenerate behavior. Now, I don't think that after watching all these other things, I don't think that his whole shtick was degenerate. I don't think that everything he was doing was degenerate. I think there's actually a lot of positive stuff that was building out of it. But he seems to be way too willing to try to cross the line or get the situation over the line. And I saw a pattern in just these videos that I watched. I saw a pattern of him bypassing opportunities to de-escalate and further escalating. This is like a character tendency of his. And someone was in the chat earlier, said something about how like some of these, like something that happens on a totally separate live stream is going to be inadmissible or whatever. Like, you can't on one hand tell me that the legal system is totally rigged in favor of minorities and against white people, and then also say that the way the case is going to be conducted is going to be strictly, absolutely, perfectly observant to the letter of the law, and suddenly it's not going to be constructed against the white guy and in favor of the minorities, particularly in the case where the nature of the case is white guy was going around saying nigger to black people to get them angry so he could say that they're chimping out, and got in a shooting with a guy and shot him and came out better for it. Like that's not going to be the case that radically transforms the justice system, and suddenly it's going to be a race blind or even a pro-white justice system. So this is he was actually streaming when it happened, but as soon as the gunshot was fired, there's software that automatically pulls the stream. So there was people who were watching the stream in real time, and they reported what they saw on it, but we don't have those things available to us. So for now, it's just kind of, from our perspective, it's like educated hearsay. So Chud Clips here has the majority of the videos that I've showed you today are from this account. So obviously this account, the person who runs this account is following the streams regularly. ChudTheBuilder Clip is the Twitter handle. Says he's quoting someone who is watching. Says, as someone who is watching ChudTheBuilder's live, this is one of the more accurate and detailed testimonies of the live stream that I've seen so far. So he's quoting from someone else. So it all started when Chud went to the courthouse on official business. People say he was there for a civil matter. I don't really know what it was for, but it makes sense considering he was well-dressed in a suit. And since then, it's come out that it was something having to do with like some credit card. It was like a $3,300 credit card balance, and 33. What do they mean by this? $3,300 credit card balance, and he had some lender that he was resolving some sort of a financial issue with. He's just taking a stroll, talking about his upcoming interview with Harrison Smith from InfoWars, saying how it's good to just take a stroll before giving an interview, etc. He notices a black couple pointing at him, and he walks past them and asks if they're having a good day and if they like his suit. Really just trying to have a conversation with them because they initiated by pointing, so he's curious to know what's up. After he asks how they're doing, the guy responds with, "Get out of here," or something to that effect, and Chud says, "I'm free to be where I want to be." Black dude says something else, and Chud simply walks away. As Chud walks away, the black guy tells him he has PTSD, and that he won't put up with him calling him a nigger or say that chimp out stuff to him. Chud then says, "Or what? You gonna start chimping out?" Chud is still recording but walking away. That's when you see the black guy stand up from about maybe 50 or 60 feet away from Chud. I don't know exactly how many feet, but it was quite a significant distance. And he begins to advance toward Chud. Now, I mean, 50 to 60 feet is not what I would consider a significant distance, but different people perceive distance differently. Chud stops walking, and the black catches up to Chud, and they're in each other's faces, literally inches apart. The black guy tells Chud, "Call me a nigger, mace me," trying to provoke Chud. And when he gets no response from Chud, he punches Chud in the head. The camera is then knocked to the ground. Seconds later, you can hear 4 or 5 gunshots pop off. Then you can hear people running towards them and Chud saying, "Get him off of me." The rest of the audio you can find online if you look around, but that's what I saw happen live on stream. And this is someone who texted this. So you could take that for what it's worth. For the like nitty gritty of the self-defense stuff, I'm gonna refer you to the guy I'm about to play a video of. Andrew Branca. He gets into some of it in this, and then he gets into more detail in his stream he did with Myron Gaines and in his the rest of his most recent streams. He's talked about it at length. And thus far, we're kind of we don't totally know. There's a video. You'll see a clip of the video played in this one that was taken after the shooting. They started filming because they heard the gunshots. And it's hard to you can't basically tell anything that's going on. But then there is video that has been released of you can just hear the audio of Chud talking, and he kind of sounds like he's in shock a little bit, and he's telling the cops what happened. So he also, right at the end of this, went and immediately started talking and explaining what happened to the cops. We'll see if that ends up working for or against him. But this is Andrew Branca. This was from yesterday. Judge sets ChudTheBuilder's bond at $1.25 million. So we'll see if this actually plays, or if I'm gonna have to refresh or whatever.
So bail's gonna. It
works. I'm gonna set just a bond right now. After we have our bail hearing, then I'll let you make all the arguments. We can go through all the factors in the statute and see if that gets amended up or down.
All right. So the difference between bond and bail is bail. There's depends on a lot of factors. So there's often a bail report, like whether he has priors, whether he's a threat to someone in the community, if he's released. Lots of factors come in with bail. Bond is just something they put in place while they're waiting for the bail hearing. And I think the bail hearing's just in a few days. So they set a bond that's generally an unconditioned bond or only the conditions the judge wants to throw in at the moment. Like, I'll bond you out, but you can't be in possession.
I had a feeling that was going to happen. Hold on, let me refresh. This is weird because like the chat is coming through and but like I can't load anything on X. So I don't know how. Yeah, X, maybe X is down, but let me try opening another website. All right. I'm going to restart the computer and get everything set up here. So it's probably, I'll be out for maybe 10 minutes and then I will come back and we'll try to get this through on a part 2. So bear with me. I'll be back soon. Looks fine. Okay. All right. Well, if you guys are just coming up on this one after the fact, part of the replay gang, this is the second stream of the day. Stream went down, was not working, so I had to stop it, start it up again. So go look for the original one. I titled this one Part 2 to make it easy for you. But we went through and watched a whole bunch of videos of ChudTheBuilder, all the highs and the lows and everything else. And now we're talking about his the actual merits of the legal case and how it might go. And then we're going to talk a little bit more about just like, I don't know, political strategy in general for our guys and like kind of understanding the culture and what sort of techniques are useful and which ones are not. So I've got this video with the Andrew Branca show from the great self-defense lawyer.
Welcome
Andrew
to the
Branca.
Gulag. If you survive, you earn your freedom.
Thank you, Bobby Ballbags. The 5 gifted subs. We got Ligma, we got TV Foo, we got Patchy, Politically Catholic, and Isaac. All right. So we're I think Ligma. I think I've seen Ligma in here before, but we're at the very least we are 3 for 5 on that one. Thank you, Bobby Ballbags. So here is Andrew Branca starting off talking about the difference between bail and bond, and reacting to Chud here getting his bond set at $250,000, $1.25 million. Sorry.
So we're gonna have a bail.
I'm gonna set just a bond right now till we have our bail hearing. Then I'll let you make all the arguments. We can go through all the factors in the statute and see if that gets amended up or down.
All right. So the difference between bond and bail is bail.
This was actually something I didn't know that I'd always kind of wondered about, but never cared enough to look into it. And I'm a good little boy, so I've never gotten myself in scrapes where I needed to, where it was of personal relevance to me, the difference between these things. So this was actually an interesting breakdown to me.
Depends on a lot of factors. So there's often a bail report, like whether he has priors, whether he's a threat to someone in the community, if he's released. Lots of factors come in with bail. Bond is just something they put in place while they're waiting for the bail hearing. And I think the bail hearing's just in a few days. So they set a bond that's generally an unconditioned bond or only the conditions the judge wants to throw in at the moment. Like, I'll bond you out, but you can't be in possession of guns, you can't have drugs, that kind of stuff. You have to stay away from this person. And then they'll have the more technically assessed bail hearing later.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to set initial bond at $1.25 million. $1.25 million. Based upon the fact of how many people were in the courtyard, we're here at the
That hit hard. You could tell when Chud heard 1.25 million, you could kind of see like the weight of his actions landing on him.
courthouse and the seriousness of all these felonies and his bond status. Okay?
Oh, his bond status, because he's probably on bond from the restaurant arrest.
Yes, sir.
So the 26th at 9 o'clock, I'm sorry, the 21st at 9 o'clock for a bond hearing, and then the 26th at 9 for a preliminary hearing right here. Does that work for everybody's calendar? General, does that work for the state?
Yeah.
All right.
Just for the court's information, and Mr. Finley states on request to file a source hearing when and if there's an attempt to make bond.
Okay. Is there any objection of us taking all those matters up at the bond hearing on the 21st?
No.
Mr. Finley, do you have any objection to doing it that way?
Now, it is worth noting, I suppose, here you've got a black bailiff, but then you got a good old white boy as a judge. You got a good old white boy as the prosecutor, and you got a good old white boy as the defense attorney. And from the sound of it, he's had a relationship with this guy. He's had this guy on retainer for a while. Hopefully, he went and got himself a very, very good defense attorney, because this is going to be a thorny one. This is going to be a difficult one to a difficult needle to thread.
Right. That's the most efficient way, I think.
We'll try.
So he's asking the defense attorney if he has any objections. And of course, the defense attorney does have objections. The defense attorney would like his client out of county jail. But he's clearly, the tone of the judge would never go for that. That's why the defense counsel is hemming and hawing here. Rewind it just a little bit.
Judge, we'll try and have everything lined up for the.
Oh, all right. Anything else, Mr. Finley, from you today?
No, sir.
All right.
Wonder if he'll tell the bailiff not to chimp out. I notice he's not. First Amendment right? He could use the N-word with the bailiff right here. I notice he's not doing that.
Okay. That'll conclude these proceedings today, okay? So we'll be in recess.
All right, court in recess. So, Dalton Etherly, ChudTheBuilder, appeared in Montgomery County Court this morning. That was today, Friday. He was charged with attempted murder. Now, the news media sucks, so they don't tell us whether you could be charged with attempted first-degree murder or attempted second-degree murder under Tennessee law. And the sentences are very different. The maximum sentences are very different. So attempted first-degree murder is good for 60 years. It's effectively a life sentence for someone who's 28 years old. Attempted murder in the second degree has a much more variance. The maximum could be somewhere between 15 and 30 years, depending on the circumstances.
Did it just go down again? You guys are saying it's back. All right. Is there like weather happening right now? We weren't supposed to really get anything. This is annoying. I've got another stream to do tomorrow, so I'm hoping that this issue doesn't persist.
Different. The maximum sentences are very different. So attempted first-degree murder is good for 60 years. It's effectively a life sentence for someone who's 28 years old. Attempted murder in the second degree has a much more variance. The maximum could be somewhere between 15 and 30 years, depending on the circumstances, which begins to feel, at the 15-year range, it begins to feel much more like a manslaughter offense. And by the way, attempted manslaughter was a possibility on the table here, and frankly feels more appropriate. I mean, normally, if someone dies in the course of a fist fight, they treat the fight as having been qualifies as what they call adequate provocation. So involuntary manslaughter, which we've talked about a lot, that's the Alec Baldwin.
This is the sort of analysis that Andrew Branca is really, really good for. It's the if you want to understand like the differences, the legal exigencies that go into each of the different ones. And I got to say, if they're hitting him with attempted murder here, when it very much seems as if the circumstances are, as he's explaining here, they're more along the lines of some type of manslaughter, then that kind of reinforces to me, that's part of what informs my gut that he's going to wind up getting some kind of like felony gun charge. And they're overcharging on the murder thing so that he can either plea down. I don't think he will, but he can wind up at the like one of the felony gun charges. So he winds up with some time in prison, but then like probation, pays a fine, or something along those lines. But that is one thing. Like they'll overcharge specifically to make the lower charges stick. Where if they were to start with the lower charge, then they might not be. If they don't prove their case on that, then maybe he walks or something. So this would be the perspective of a prosecutor.
Shooting the director on the set of Rust or the videographer on the set of Rust. Involuntary manslaughter is when you engage in reckless conduct. You don't intend for anyone to die or even be harmed, but you engage in reckless conduct. Someone dies as a result. That's involuntary manslaughter. Voluntary manslaughter is properly thought of as a mitigated form of murder. So murder is a cold-blooded killing. Voluntary manslaughter is a hot-blooded killing, a killing done under adequate provocation or under heat of passion. And the classic example is a guy comes home from work and he finds his wife in bed with another dude and he pulls out a gun and shoots them both. Adequate provocation, heat of passion, a hot-blooded rather than a cold-blooded killing. The law mitigates what would be a murder conviction, life in prison without possibility of early release into a manslaughter conviction, which is typically 15 years, and maybe you get out after serving a third of that. So, a manslaughter conviction sucks unless the alternative is a murder conviction. Well, it's very common for a death consequent to a fistfight to treat the fistfight as adequate provocation, the hot-blooded component, the heat of passion component, and mitigate what would be murder down to manslaughter. So it would not have surprised me if Chud had been charged not with attempted murder, but with attempted manslaughter. But here's the problem.
So part of the distinction here, I believe, does come down to forethought or malice. And so if he to adequately prove attempted murder, they're going to have to prove like that he initiated the interaction, that he was directing the events toward the end goal of killing the guy, but then so manslaughter would be more like it wasn't premeditated, but it also was not a justified shooting.
Manslaughter is a mitigated form of murder. They're trying to give you a break for having committed the killing in the heat of passion, in hot blood. But they're much less inclined to give you the break if they believe you provoked the confrontation, you provoked the fist fight in the first place. Then it's kind of on you. And why should they give you a break for that? Now, I don't know whether or not Chud provoked this particular fight, but that's the rationale a prosecutor might use to charge attempted murder here in place of attempted manslaughter. All right, so he's charged with attempted murder. We don't know what degree. And then you get all the cascading charges that follow. Employing a firearm during a dangerous felony, aggravated assault, reckless endangerment with a deadly weapon. If the use of the gun was unlawful, all these things are true. If the use of the gun was lawful, if it was lawful self-defense, then all these charges go away too. The incident involved a confrontation.
So that again, like this, there's a pause face. My gut take is that they're trying to get him to plea down on something and not actually intending for it to ever go to trial. But I think it is worth considering as well that you can have your like really politically charged opinion about all the history and all the background of all this and everything. But like part of what makes a corrupted legal system so sinister is that it can be perpetuated by people either building on case law, previous case law, or basically what people are doing is they're just following orders. Like what are the laws on the books? How have those laws been historically prosecuted? What sort of similar situations have there been that we can draw upon? And you build up this corpus of law over time. The more bad cases that you get into it, the more bad cases you're going to get. And it's not necessarily being perpetuated by people who are driving some sort of agenda, or they have some sort of ideological axe to grind. You could have just basically a normie prosecutor who just kind of looks at this and he's like, oh yeah, the nigger stuff, that's pretty distasteful. Let's look at this as a strict self-defense case, and here's how the facts on this parallel with previous facts, and so there's the possibility that some of the stuff that would be pretty what's the word? What's the opposite of exculpatory? Like condemning, that is not directly pertinent to the case. Some of that stuff may be able to be kept out if they could somehow prevent jurors and stuff from being aware of some of these components that would be particularly damning to them. They might be able to, by the letter of the law, say, well, that's not actually pertinent to this. That's going to be kept out. And in the same way, there could be some stuff that would be exculpatory to him, to his character, to his nature, those sorts of things that may also, by the letter of the law, be kept out. I got to say, of all the states, having this happen in Tennessee it's probably about the best thing that he could hope for. And he's got a white judge, older guy, so that could work for him, that could work against him. Likewise, the population around there, even if he gets white jurors, they're still, it's going to be unavoidable to see him as something other than the big imposing white guy who goes around and yells nigger at people. And that's like a visceral thing that a lot of people are going to have a very hard time getting over, no matter what the actual technical specifics of the case are. There's just that immediate gut impulse. That's the way that they're going to perceive him the whole time. If this actually does wind up, if he does wind up in front of a jury.
With Joshua Fox, escalated the gunfire. The judge set his bond at $1.25 million. Citing public safety concerns, the seriousness of the charges, it's not a shocking bond requirement for an attempted murder charge where someone was actually shot. Now, he only has to put up 10% of that, and he gets out. $125,000. I don't know if he had.
There was another person, I don't remember who it was, I saw that made the point that seemed, it's actually a decent point to me, that a factor that would go into this could be the fact that, you could say that it was a justified shooting. However, the fact that he shot himself, he shot the guy, shot himself, shot buildings in the surroundings, he's walking around carrying a gun and gets into a conflict, and in the course of that conflict, it's not like it was like he just drew down and he shot the guy, but there was no collateral damage. No, he's just kind of spray and praying a little bit. And you could say that's unfair, because like he's in a ground and pound situation, and you can't be expected to be perfectly accurate in that spot. But at the same time, it's also like, well, this is a guy who winds up in these sorts of situations, so that's going to feed into him being a public risk. This is to say nothing of the fact that there's a guy went and did an analysis of that particular court and all the different similar cases and the bond amounts that were set for them, and this is a massive, massive outlier. And this is clearly it's unjust. Clearly it's absurd that this is what happens. But like if you want to protest black people getting low bond amounts for the violent crimes they commit, it doesn't make sense that, okay, well, I'm going to go commit a violent crime so that my bond can be set really high, and then I could say, oh, look what's happening to me. This is like a microcosm of a lot of the retard right. This is the way that they interface with the political system. Oh, there's this injustice, so the way we need to do that is we need to highlight how we need to engage in stupid behavior, experience the negative consequences, the very predictable negative consequences for our stupid behavior, and then point to those consequences as like, oh, this isn't fair. Look at how much of a victim I am. And yeah, I'm not directly saying that that's what he's doing here, though that may wind up sort of being the way that his actions pan out. But there's something to be taken from this and scaled up to the actual organizational political level.
Charges. It's not a shocking bond requirement for an attempted murder charge where someone was actually shot. Now, he only has to put up 10% of that, and he gets out, $125,000. I don't know if he has I think he has a give, send, go thing happening, so maybe they're raising enough money for him to bond himself out. Of course, I'm not sure how things work with bonds in Tennessee, but normally if you do the 10% thing through a bondsman, you lose the 10%. You don't get it back. If you put up the bond yourself and you do everything you're supposed to do, ultimately you get the bond back, but not if you go through a bail bondsman. Now,
he also pointed out in another stream that it won't just be that, like if he gets that 125,000, which I think he already has, he said that a bondsman is also going to want like at least half of the total amount in collateral. So if he has a property worth $500K, you got $500K in equity and in some real estate or something, he can put that up as collateral. But even just getting the 10% is not from that gives and go is not going to actually bond him out, is my understanding.
We don't know what the facts are here. I can't find any what I would consider reliable sources of the facts, but there are some representations being made. Some of them very consistent with a robust argument for self-defense by Chud. So we'll have to see if these things turn out to be true. But for example, this account, who I don't know, writes, the man who Chud the Builder shot in self-defense hit Chud, tackled Chud, and tried to take his gun. In the process of wrestling over the gun, Chud shot the man and grazed himself. Can someone please tell me why Chud was arrested for attempted murder? Well, because the people charging him with attempted murder don't believe this narrative. This is the narrative that would need to be demonstrated in court. The narrative that, in fairness, the prosecution has to overcome. The prosecution would have to disprove this narrative. Chud's defense counsel can stand up, opening statement, and say this to the jury. This is what happened, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. And then the state has to disprove that beyond any reasonable doubt. Here's a more detailed narrative. Again, Fudd Reaper, I don't know who this account is, but just as an example of a hypothetical fact narrative that would be helpful to Chud. He writes,
I'd had this tweet queued up and ready to go. I was going to read through it, and I was like, oh, I'll just have the actual attorney who specializes in self-defense read through it.
3 things that very clearly demonstrate Dalton's, Chud the Builder, self-defense claims and why I think he'll be found not guilty on the basis of self-defense. Now, again, I don't know that any of these claims of facts are true or supported by evidence, but let's imagine that they could be or are. He writes, a lot of people think this was another one of Dalton's streams where he poses the do you believe in free speech gotcha question and then drops the N-bomb on an unsuspecting minority. This is not at all the case. And it's important in the context of his claim of self-defense, it sure is, and whether or not Dalton provoked the altercation. The first point is that Joshua Fox initiated contact. I think by contact, he doesn't mean the punch. I think he means Fox approached Chud, started whatever their conversation was. The story, as we know it so far, is that as Chud was leaving the courthouse, Joshua Fox recognized Chud, started pointing, laughing, calling out to him. Joshua Fox knew who Chud was, recognized him in public, made the initial move to invoke some sort of interaction between the two by taunting Chud from across the street. Well, none of that's a crime, right? Chud then walked over to Joshua. And while we don't know the context of that conversation for certain, allegedly, Chud only attempted to make small talk before Joshua told him to go on and to go away. Well, the trouble is, folks, that a prosecutor is going to characterize this very differently. A prosecutor is going to say, all right, Joshua was mocking him, and then Chud decided to escalate by actually physically approaching Joshua Fox. That's part of his provocation. If you want to avoid trouble, if you're someone who just bonded out of court over this restaurant fracas, you just got out of court minutes ago, and somebody's mocking you on the street because they know your social media profile and history, are you trying? Would a reasonable person then approach that mocker to have a conversation, or would you avoid them? You don't have a legal duty to avoid them, but what would a reasonable person do? Allegedly, Chud only attempted to make small talk. Who knows?
This is one of the fascinating things about our legal system, is that we'll speak about things in such broad, sweeping ways, but especially if you watch like true crime shows or you've watched some like great true crime documentary, or you like read about cases or read court transcripts of those kinds of things. So much of it comes down to what is quite literally subjective judgment calls about reasonable person. What would a reasonable person do? Which means that there's understood to be a conception of an agreed upon standard for a reasonable person. And like the legal system can only withstand that collective agreement. It can only withstand as long as that collective agreement persists. But as you get a sharper and sharper deviation between what a reasonable person is even conceived to be, then the character of the legal system, its ability to adapt and incorporate all sorts of different variables and be able to hash these things out, quote unquote, peacefully, versus just, like mobs of people going back and forth, killing each other or whatever, being able to submit to this third party that arbitrates and all of that. That great flexibility and adaptability of the legal tradition actually becomes like a big vulnerability in it, because it's like you start taking in little bits of poison, and it so readily metabolizes that poison until it becomes more and more like poison.
Right? Is that how Joshua Fox would characterize the interaction? Before Joshua told him to go on and to go away. And then the second point, Dalton walked away. Dalton left Joshua, crossed the street back to the courthouse. At this point, the interaction was over and finished. However, Joshua Fox followed Dalton across the street and directly approached him. Then, according to Chud's testimony, I don't know that. Okay, according to Chud's testimony, Joshua, so there was I believe after the cops and EMS showed up, Chud started talking. There's a recording of him talking, I don't know if Chud's smart enough to risk that kind of conversation in the immediate aftermath of a use of force event where he shot somebody, but nevertheless, he made that choice.
I think what he means by that is like, does he have like the legal awareness and the ability to talk about it intelligibly without also self-incriminating? I mean, he definitely has shown through that video I showed you earlier at the gas station, and then some of the comments and stuff that he made, like if you were going to go do this big performance art and you're like starting the movement and you're going to take back free speech and all of that, and you know full well that you're likely going to wind up in some sort of use of force situation, and you have wound up in use of force situations, like it would be at the very least, like I would say probably not the best course of action. If you choose that that's how you want to sacrifice yourself, then on a certain level, I have some respect for you. But I also would not advise it, would not recommend it. But like, at the very least, if we're going to accept that this is a course of action we're going to pursue, at the very least, you would want to make sure that you were an absolute just knockdown expert on use of force situations and interfacing with police and how the legal system works. Like, you would want to be, all of your off time, you would want to be like studying Andrew Branca's channel and knowing full well what you can and can't do. So Maybe he was doing that. I don't know. So from some of the stuff that I've heard, the short clips that I've heard of the immediate post shooting commentary from Dalton, it didn't sound like he said anything particularly incriminating, but once you get it into the hands of an able prosecutor, you never know. And that's the other thing is like the job of the prosecutor is not to cooperate with your political campaign to, I don't know, end the race war by escalating it or something. The job of the prosecutor is to obtain a prosecution. And you'd like to say that there's a prosecutor there who's like recognizes the bigger picture here and like wants to be really true and fair and balanced and everything. But at the end of the day, he gets paid to obtain prosecutions.
According to Chud's testimony, it's his statements really, it's not testimony. Joshua Fox threatened Chud by saying something to the effect of, I am a combat veteran. You're not going to be saying all that chimping out S around me. This is a clear verbal threat of physical harm. It's no different than what Chud says. Don't step up on me, I'll pepper spray you. Chud then says to Joshua, oh, so you are chimping out. This is when Joshua punches Dalton in the face. Is a normie jury going to consider?
And this is another good point, is that like, especially when you're talking about a prosecutor, a jury, these are equivalent. If Chud saying like don't step up to me, I'll pepper spray you, is not a clear verbal threat of physical harm, then you can't really say that this is necessarily a clear verbal threat of physical harm. Now, I say that within the context of a court. Clearly, in my opinion, I would expect that this Joshua Fox character, for a variety of reasons, some of them he can't, well, actually, no, all of them he can't change. Him saying something like that is definitely a more clear verbal threat of physical harm than Chud saying the same thing because of his own characteristics. But again, like, I think it's really, really good, really important for people to keep in mind the difference between the is and the ought. Just because you're like, oh, well, here with us chatting together, obviously we can agree that a guy who looks and acts and talks like Joshua Fox is much more threatening language than Dalton. Like Dalton, like he's not going to do all that stuff. Sure, we can agree on that. But if your goal is that we're going to make it so that the courts function the same way, have the same interface with reality that we do in our common conversation with each other, you got to realize that that's not going to change in one single court case. That's going to take generations. Like, you got to be committed to this bit. If that's the thing that's going to happen, it's going to take generations.
Don't step up on me, I'll pepper spray you. Chud then says to Joshua, oh, so you are chimping out. This is when Joshua punches Dalton in the face. Is a normie jury going to consider that telling a black man you're chimping out provocation that provoked the punch? Is that beyond the bounds of reason? You don't imagine a jury, especially the black jurors, would conclude that qualifies as provocation under Tennessee law that loses Chud self-defense? And this is written by someone who's favorable to Chud, thinks his claim of self-defense is not just viable, but will be successful. Chud then says to the black man, Joshua Fox, oh, so you are chimping out. This is when Joshua punches Dalton in the face, which unquestionably is unlawful. Knocks him onto the ground, continues to strike Dalton. I mean, we'll have to see what the nature of that is. A sustained beating is different than a single thrown punch. A sustained beating can qualify as a deadly force attack that would justify going to the gun. That's what happened with the Trayvon Martin attack upon George Zimmerman. Trayvon Martin threw the first punch into Zimmerman's face, broke his nose, smashed Zimmerman to the ground, and didn't end there. If Zimmerman had pulled his gun and shot Trayvon Martin there, he'd probably been convicted. But then Trayvon Martin mounted George Zimmerman and began beating him, as an eyewitness testified, ground and pound, MMA style, beating Zimmerman's head into a sidewalk. That was unquestionably a deadly force attack that justified Zimmerman's use of a gun in self-defense. Do we have something like that here? We don't know. Dalton, from the ground, fired shots, striking Joshua in the stomach and shoulder and sending another round into his own arm. The last shot further demonstrates the compromised position that Joshua had Dalton in, maybe, and will undoubtedly be used as justification for Dalton's fear of serious bodily harm or death. That's a little complicated. Shooting yourself in the arm doesn't necessarily support a reasonable perception of a fear of serious bodily injury or death. This was not, quote, Joshua threw one punch and Dalton shot him 3 times, close quote. Maybe. Dalton was sucker punched in the face and Joshua continued to assault him after being knocked down. If those facts are true, that would be favorable to Chud. Oh, they talks about Zimmerman here. This is exactly what George Zimmerman was acquitted for, as continuing to be struck while on the ground meets the threshold for any reasonable person to believe that serious bodily harm.
Mather says you ought not approach someone when you have a gun. If there's even a hint, it could escalate. Yeah, right. Like this is what every concealed carry person ever is taught. This is what every like self-defense lawyer ever will tell you is don't do everything you have. If you're carrying a gun, you have even more obligation on you to avoid getting yourself into these sorts of situations. So a lot of this stuff is like, these are risks that Chud willingly took on, that he willingly strode into. And ultimately it's not I don't remember if he says it in this one, but ultimately this case is not going to turn on free speech at all. That was his whole thing. He set this up as his life is going to be a referendum on free speech or something. But at the end of the day, the actual ability for a white person to say nigger or not, it has no bearing whatsoever on the outcome of the court case, because it's about self-defense.
Was probable or that their life was in danger. The trouble is, this is true, as I just talked about, in terms of proportionality. Were you facing a deadly force threat that justified you going to deadly defensive force, the gun? That could be true. It does not address the question of provocation, though. That is when the video of the altercation begins, after the shots were fired, and Chud wrestles a wounded Joshua over and down into the ground. Cops break them up immediately after. This is when Chud begins his stream on Pump. Oh my God, he began his stream right after he shot someone in the stomach? That must be where the video is from. That's awkward. The prosecution's definitely going to be talking about that. So just to be...
Now, this is, here we're seeing lots of the stories have different details to them, because there's lots of people who are claiming that they were watching him on stream, and they walk through the details of what happened that were on stream. And this guy's saying that he didn't begin his stream until afterward. So there's still a whole lot of, details, very, very important details that are yet to be established.
Explicitly clear, this account writes, Chud was not streaming, trying to provoke people to farm engagement. Chud was simply walking out of the courthouse and was recognized by someone that had it out for him. Chud walked away. Joshua Fox.
And again, we don't necessarily know that it was someone that had it out for him necessarily.
Followed after him. Joshua Fox assaults Chud, continues to strike him after Chud has fallen onto the ground. This is clear and decisive self-defense. If it's found to be not, it will just be another all too common blight on our justice system. Yeah, this sounds like a reasonable narrative for self-defense here. If these are the exclusive facts, if there was no provocation. And it could be that there was no provocation. That's possible.
So he's got some other commentary on it that I recommend. Go watching Andrew Branca show on YouTube, and you can follow him on X as well. I don't remember his handle. Just look for Andrew Branca on X. He just had a good conversation with Myron Gaines where he went into a lot more detail on some of these things as well. So I recommend that if you want more on the specific details of the self-defense, the legal component of it. So like, here's the thing. Ultimately, the outcome of the case, like you can draw a narrative from it, and you can kind of use that rhetorically to make this about free speech. Really more the actual stuff that he was doing, the actual interactions he was having with people, like those were definitely, I think, from what I've seen, by and large, I think they probably were net positive toward the free speech angle. But the actual encounter of the case and the way all this is going to play out is there's a lot of people who are going to try to force some narratives onto it. And, there's maybe some utility in some of that. But like this, for example, Uncommon Sense says, to me, the ChudTheBuilder case is black and white, just reverse the races. Let's imagine there was a black internet streamer complaining about white people and white behavior. He films himself going around calling white people crackers. This pisses off a previously violent white felon, and he posts online, I'm going to get that black guy. Again, not actually what happened. The white felon walks up to the black streamer and unprovoked punches him in the face. The black streamer shoots him in return. Would the black streamer be charged with attempted murder? I think we all know the answer. No, I think we do all know the answer. Generally, there's plenty of cases where black people do things like that and they get charged and prosecuted, and it doesn't. It's kind of like the It's like the plane with the bullet holes in it. It doesn't stand out. You don't actually hear about those specific ones. But that's really kind of narratively adjacent to the actual story, leaving aside the fact that it wasn't a guy who's going out trying to find him, trying to get into something with him. But this really has no bearing on the actual case. I don't necessarily disagree with the premise, but it has no bearing on the actual case, because just on the merits of the case itself, the fact that a black person might get away with it is also not a reason for the white person to get away with it. Like, I understand the people who say we need to have a justice system that's not disproportionately favoring black people. But the way to accomplish that is not to have a justice system that it's not to degrade the justice system for everyone. So there's no it's not useful. There's no utility in trying to mend the justice system's race biases by going as a white guy, going and getting yourself into a situation to go say, well, but imagine the shoe was on the other foot. This is kind of boomer behavior, honestly. Look at the hypocrisy. Imagine if a Democrat did this. Yeah, great. Like, yeah, there's hypocrisy. Spending all your time on the hypocrisy thing is like, sure, great. What's happening to change that? Emperor Trades, thank you for the kicks. Here is some kind of interesting commentary here. First of all, from notorious poster, Captive Dreamer. He says, on ChudTheBuilder, since people are seething in my replies, no, blacks shouldn't be allowed to assault you over a word, and they shouldn't be allowed to shoot your dog. Given Chud's history of posting about violence towards black people, it's very stupid for him to go out and instigate fights for donations on streams. If he was assaulted and defended himself, he deserves to be exonerated. You people are trying to make him into Rosa Parks for white people, and it's just a fundamental misunderstanding of how the civil rights revolution worked. It's not going to work like that. This isn't how things change. People are trying to make this into some statement of political activism when it's just garbage tier entertainment like Johnny Somali, and nobody thinks he's some political savant. Now, this was like squarely 100% exactly my opinion on it. Before I went and watched more of his stuff, I actually think that there was more what you could call maybe like legitimate political activism. There's a lot of stuff that I think rose above the level of just the garbage tier entertainment. But this part right here, like turning him into a Rosa Parks for white people, is exactly the wrong impulse. The answers to our problems is not make white people into the same status as minorities. Make white people, make Republicans into the same status as Democrats. No, we don't need a Rosa Parks for white people. Rosa Parks was gay. The whole thing was gay. Mimicking the way the civil rights regime was constructed, but trying to make it based, is not going to actually result in a based civil rights regime. Multiple things can be true, and you need to understand how these things will be framed. This isn't some guy who yelled a slur at a black dude and got attacked. He's got a long history of violent threats, and prosecution will point to that. And of course, saying a slur should not be something that justifies people assaulting you. All of these are true. He says, what do you think a prosecutor's going to do with this? Come on. And that's the series finale is Dead Chimp on the Pavement and You Monkeys Riding When I Walk Free. Stay tuned. Frankly, like this tweet is probably one of the most damning things that he's done. Sending that tweet alone. And I can't imagine he thought that was going to be the case when he posted it. But yeah, this is just as sympathetic to him as I can be. You're just lining yourself up for the meat grinder. Powerful poster, Lee said the lesson of George Floyd is that acting like a scumbag in public is bad, not that it should be emulated and repurposed for white people. Hear, hear. Tom Pappert says, I don't think shouting expletives in public for money is a viable career. And then there was one other one down here. This guy says, this is dorky like really performative white nationalist. Like, I'm an edgy boy because I'm a white nationalist. Yeah. White Christian nationalist. Don't give a hoot if that bothers you. Hell yeah, bro. He says, you're the type of coward that would have went with the commissars who came to round you up. You only defend your rights by exercising them. This is like life isn't on the internet, man. Captive Dreamer says, you defend your rights by making sure people in power defend them. Go listen to rap or whatever somewhere else. Yeah. Go listen to rap. This right here. You defend your rights by making sure people in power defend them. Which means if you want people in power to defend your rights, you can't go out of your way to make yourself intolerable to the people in power. You can't make it harder for them to defend your rights. And you can dislike this all you want. You can call me a bootlicker. You know, you can hate this all you want. It's just a fact. It's just a reality. Power exists. Certain people have it. Others don't. If you want your rights defended, what you're saying is, I want people in power. I want people who have power more than me. People who have power don't need to complain about their rights being defended. So if you're saying I need my rights to be defended, those rights are going to be defended, can only be defended by people who are more powerful than you. So you're making an appeal to them. Please defend my rights for me. Which means you have an obligation to them to not make yourself as difficult as possible to defend. This is why you can't chimp out and act like a nigger and ask people to defend you. This is the whole retard right in general. You can't go act like an antisocial retard, spazzing out, constantly despairing, dooming out, acting like a queer, and be like, why don't people advocate? Where's my patronage? I wouldn't want to offer patronage to you the way you act in public. Matt Forney. I love that me sharing stuff from Captive Dreamer on Matt Forney is going to piss off a certain contingent of the population, and I frankly don't really mind that. He says the same emotional incontinence that leads the retard right to turn on Trump is leading them to spurg out over ChudTheBuilder when anyone points out he's a retard. The closest analog to Chud is not Kyle Rittenhouse or Daniel Penny, it's James Fields. Fields is the fat spurg who ran over Heather Heyer at Charlottesville. He's currently serving life in prison plus 400-something years for it. None of the arguments the online right made in his defense mattered. Heather Heyer was a fat Antifa. She died of a heart attack. All fell in the deaf ears of the judge and jury. Fields made his situation worse by expressing glee about Heyer's death and jailhouse phone calls and his prior life history as a spurg who abused his disabled mother was brought up. I believe Fields was mistreated. The absurdity of him not only getting hit with a murder charge as opposed to manslaughter and getting life in prison when black killers are regularly let off by judges should be apparent. But what I believe does not matter. Fields was convicted and he will die in prison, and none of your Pollyanna crying about how unfair it is will change this. What he says, what I believe does not matter. Also, what I believe does not matter. What you believe does not matter. He says, I like how the online right, which constantly cries about the unfairness of the justice system, keeps posting bad legal takes tier wish casting about how Chud will get a fair shake from said justice system. None of you have a theory of mind and can understand the psychology at play. Kyle Rittenhouse got off because the white women on the jury saw the evidence, saw this clean-cut white kid who just wanted to do good for his community and thought, he could be my son. Is Chud going to get that treatment? Or are some Vivek-loving boomers going to get on the jury and see Chud as a piece of white trash whose mama didn't beat his ass enough? None of you are even discussing jury selection. The prosecution is going to work to ensure jurors who might be sympathetic to Chud get stricken from the pool. A primary white jury will not help him if it consists of hostile boomers who are trying to not appear racist or think he's a jackass kid who needs a comeuppance. And this factor right here, thinking he's a jackass kid who needs a comeuppance is, my guess, would probably be like 80% of people who have any sort of awareness about this story. That's going to be their default take. They think he's a jackass kid who needs a comeuppance. And I say this like, I actually came to sitting there watching all these videos of him. I changed my opinion about him, and I actually sympathize with him a lot more. And I have a measure of respect for what he was doing. But like ultimately, if you really want to be the one who makes a big difference on something like this, you can't. There's just a fundamental. A contradiction between the idea of like, we've lost our civilization, we need our civilization back, so I'm going to lean into the thing that makes the majority of people think that I'm uncivilized. It's great for targeting like a particular subsection or a particular demographic, but ultimately the broad perception of what is civilized matters. You can't just ignore it. You can't just brush it off. You can't live in ought world. You have to live in is world. And in is world, the majority of people don't care about all the nice things that he did. They don't care about him reading a prayer from the Jordanville prayer book to some drugged out black junkie homeless lady. They see that and they're like, oh, that's kind of nice, but he's still a jackass kid who needs a comeuppance. There's much to be learned in terms of political and cultural strategy from this. But Carmelo Anthony, white people should circle the wagons and defend our own. We don't live in should land. You want white people to tribalistically defend every white defendant like black people do with their own, but you have no plan or strategy to get there other than emoting like a bunch of women. Standing with Chud, an IRL streamer already despised by most Americans, famous for racist harassment, is not going to get you there either. When he gets convicted, nobody will protest or chimp out. Just like nobody cared about Fields and he's now rotting in prison, completely forgotten. I've made it clear that I don't think Chud should go to prison. I can believe he's a retard and he shouldn't go to prison at the same time. If you want him to go free, you cannot react like little girls or wish cast Robert Barnes tier legal takes. I always love any opportunity for Robert Barnes to catch a stray. You need to deal with reality and work from there. Otherwise, reality will automatically work against you. It is a really great tragedy. It's a great atrocity what happened to James Fields. And I think he should be pardoned. I think he should be released. But again, should is... He's not going to be released. He never should have been there in the first place. Those sorts of activities, those sorts of behaviors are not the path out of the belly of degeneracy. The path to building a civilization does not go that way. It's performative. I think a lot of what Chud did on the streets actually did improve things. I think there actually was something to be gained from it, but only if he stayed away from the line. But he kept pushing the line. And he seemed to be motivated by this fundamental premise that I'm going to color within the lines of the law and I'll be able to stay in control of everything. And when shit hits the fan, I'll ultimately get exonerated and live happily ever after. And this is distinctly characteristic of this subset of the retard right in general. It's like step A, do thing, step B, ... step C, profit. But you got to fill in that ... There's got to be an and then what there. So like for Chud, he's like, I'm going to bring back free speech and I'm going to denude the nigger word. And I'm going to be fully prepared for some sort of conflict. And if I get in that conflict, I know exactly what I'm doing and I'm going to shoot and kill a nigger and I'm going to get away with it and be exonerated for it. And it's like, okay, so what if things get out of your control? What if something happens that you aren't fully prepared for? Then what? What if there isn't some great big exonerating fact? There isn't some big deus ex machina that shows up and bails you out of your retardation at the last minute? Then what? And if he looked at all of those and then what's and was like, you know what, at the end of the day, I'm willing to sacrifice myself for the cause. I'm willing to be a martyr. I'll be the one who does it, leaving aside the stuff with his family. I'll be the one who does it. I'll sacrifice myself. I'll win this great victory for the white man. Well, then there's a part of me that's like, all right, well, then part of that is going and doing the time. You undertook a course of actions that you knew would overwhelmingly likely land you in prison. And you went and you undertook those actions anyways. When I see someone go out in public and do something that they know is going to land them in prison or dead, then it's hard for me to really muster up the oomph to protest what's happening to them. And that's me, someone who likes the guy, finds him entertaining. Actually, I enjoy probably like 98% of what I've seen from him. Yes, yeah, aside from the Trump's a Jew thing. I mean, it was funny. It was great. It was fantastic delivery. But yeah, if you actually called Trump a Jew, then Trump curse strikes again. So true. So true. If even I, someone who's overwhelmingly sympathetic to him, someone who also professionally says nigger on the internet, much to my wife's chagrin, if even I find it hard to be like, oh, this is a grave injustice, we must ride at dawn to fight for him and defend his honor. Like, if even I'm kind of like, really, like, why are you making it so hard on the people who need to defend you? Is it really that productive? Is that really moving the needle forward? I think he's got absolute brass balls. Incredibly brave dude, but maybe very intelligent, but maybe a little short on the wisdom. A good soldier with terrible tactics. Yeah, right. I do think he's a good soldier, but I do think that there is something that's kind of poetic about him deciding, I want to be the guy who goes out in a blaze of gunfire, and he survived the blaze of gunfire, and he's going to pay the price for it. Now, I hope, like, I would love to see him on a certain level. I'd love to see him be exonerated. Like, there'd be a part of me that's like, yeah. But there would also be another part of me that's like, Well, first of all, it's like, oh man, we're gonna get a chimp out. But also it's like, I don't want to see more people try to emulate him. I think if you described that method of activism, I think there's very few people in the world who would have been able to pull it off like he did. I think he's like the best case scenario for it. And I don't think that more copycats is going to be a good thing. There's a big vengeful son component to this. And frankly, the fact that he had a family, that he was as close to the church in proximity as he was, may have been a saving grace that one of his emulators would not have. Actually, having a single guy go out there with less to lose would probably be worse. What little component of what little, like the ties still kind of holding him to the earth, the fact that he has a son, has a wife, even if they're estranged, those may have been the things that held him back. Who knows what a counterfactual would have looked like. I don't think that we need more Chud the Builders. I do think that a lot of the stuff that those clips, as those clips go out and they go viral and people see them, it will change on a certain level. The people who see them, it will affect their perception of race relations in a positive way, I think. But yeah, I think it's definitely a tragic story in a very real sense. The story's not over. There's still lots that could happen, but yeah, I think it's a good cautionary tale on how you can have a lot of the components. You can have the intelligence, you can have the right motivations, you can be very good at it, You can be very successful. You can have 99% of your interactions and experiences and everything can be fantastic, top tier, very, very good. But if you've got a poor overall set of operating principles, then it can all be for basically naught. Last thing I want to play here for you is, I know when this whole thing went down, the thing I was wondering about was, what does Jason Whitlock think of all of this? So here you go. Here's Jason Whitlock weighing in on Chud the Builder triggering Black America.
The Democrats and the left have trained black people. We'll tell you when to get emotional. We'll tell you when to speak up and speak out. We are treated as trained animals. We're being laughed at as trained animals. Easy to control. You want a biscuit? Do this. We're not in control of our own thoughts or and emotions. We wait for the Democrat Party and leftists and social media to tell us what to think. It's gotten so bad, this weekend someone asked me a question about a guy that's been coming to Nashville and coming to like Broadway on Nashville and trolling black people to see if he can trigger them and get them emotional. I had never heard of him. I think they call him ChudTheBuilder. I had never heard of him until yesterday or the day before when someone asked me about him. But it lines up with what I'm talking about here today as it relates to ChudTheBuilder. Some 28, 29-year-old white guy, I think he's from Clarksville, Tennessee, walks around a cowboy hat, mustache, and he films himself on Broadway and around Nashville calling black people, mostly black men, the N-word.
That's why,
I'm not
dumbass.
You know what the fuck it
He's
is,
chimping
cuz.
out.
I'm not with none of that.
Look at him, he's chimping out.
He does it to try to trigger them. And he says, he laughs like, look at these guys are like trained animals. I say this word, and these are his words, and they chimp out. And I went and looked, and I don't agree with his tactics. But I get his point. He's saying as a man, you should not allow anybody to control your emotions with words. Who is in control of us? Are we in control of ourselves? Or are these outside forces really in control of us? Because if black people can run around and call themselves the N-word, write music about killing N-words, if black people can kill each other and say, I smoked that N-word.
Nigger.
And that's no big deal. We can control ourselves. Oh, that's rap music. That it doesn't really mean anything when a rapper says it. It doesn't mean anything when the Crips and the Blood say it and they're killing you, literally killing you. It only matters when a white person says it. And when a white person says it, we get to chimp out. We've turned ourselves into a laughingstock. I'm not championing the guy. I am championing his point. No man should be controlled by another man's actions. Not at all. Someone lays hands on you, defend yourself, lay hands on them back, or go to even a deeper level and handle that. Totally get it. But words? No dice. That's for animals. If Tiffany just got a new dog, if I shout that dog's name, I expect that dog to jump around and, be like, oh, what's Whitlock want? And react. A dog, not a human being.
I like how he has the Earth, Wind, and Fire up here behind him. I really wonder how many actual black people watch Jason Whitlock. I enjoy him. I think he's a funny old fella. But it was funny. Listen to that. He's like, you're acting like animals. All right. Well, that's all I got. It's weird seeing the stream length at an hour, and I'm ending it. Now that's because this is the second one. If you just dropped in, make sure you go back and catch the OG one. The original went for about, I don't know, it was like 2 hours, 2.5 hours, something like that. I'll be back tomorrow. I don't know. This went on later than I expected to tonight, so I don't know exactly when I'll stream tomorrow. But I'll be back tomorrow for more astrolabing. Thank you to everyone for showing up today and hanging out in the chat. Go join the King Pill Discord. If you like the chat, if you enjoy the vibes here, then like half the people who are in the chat are in the King Pill Discord. So go join up over there. Had a couple of great voice chats over the weekend, and we'll be doing another one here this Friday. And I'll be back for more labing. And so, we'll see you tomorrow. For now, I leave you with Hulk.
When they took a shot at my hero, and they tried to kill the next president of the United States, enough was enough. And I said, let Trump-a-mania